up, down, down, left, right. Then BA start, the screen goes white. It's the cracker, Whitey Cracker, the game genie. 8 bits with the 8-inch weenie. I don't break bricks, I'm not Mario, but I'm still old school like Atario. I'm the highly freestyly Dr. Wily. Beat me 3 times and you win a smiley. Underground like the sewer where I kick it with rap. Yodel back, Ninja Turtles, Cowabunga, where you at? Jump on the can and the bricks where I'm landing. Gotta get the Triforce, gotta begin. And they called him the wizard in California. Power glove on my wrist, just had to warn ya. Pitter patter on the power pack, track the field. Or be like Rue's dad and get your chest peeled.
Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press start on controller 2. Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press play on your system 2. Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press start on controller 2. Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press play on your system 2. Yeah.
In between neighborhood laser tagging, we'd all get together for some double dragon. Helicopter kick Bobo off the roof. Have all his henchmen like what the hook. Then we butt heads with battle toads. Double tapping right to run that foes. Sometimes I hit him with the double fist. Then pop those raps just like assist. It kinda sucks now cause my nest blinks red. I blow and blow but all my games are dead. Thank God for ROMs and Nesticle. Played at every geek rap festival. This is the nerd rap entertainment system. And I hope you like the rhyme I spit. Cause the Whitey Cracker stay nerd forever. If you wanna repeat, just hit reset. Yeah.
Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press start on controller 2. Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press play on your system 2. Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press start on controller 2. Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press play on your system 2. Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press start on controller 2. Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press play on your system 2. Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press start on controller 2. Nerd rap entertainment system. Please press play on your system 2. Yeah.
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD, and I'm joined here once again by the George. What's up, George?
What's going on, everyone?
Ooh, you're still crackling a bit, but we'll get through that. So we got a lot to talk about, George. A lot of things have happened since the last Real Talk with Real Geeks. As you can see by the title, we're going to light up our Zack pipe. We're going to do a little Zack Snyder talking here. Apparently, he's got a big announcement. He's big things happening. And in the same vein of Zack Snyder, we also got to talk about Ben Affleck shooting down the idea that he's going to be directing anything for DC or anything for James Gunn at all, for that matter. Crazy. Additionally, we're going to look at some other things. We're going to talk about Shazam 2. The Rotten Tomatoes scores are in, and they are not good. Oh, my God. They are beyond dumpster fire. We got some Ant-Man Quantumania stuff to talk about. Some Disney Plus Phase 5 being removed. It's almost like they want to forget that they're going forward with movies. And, of course, we're going to talk about the rumor. And it's still a rumor. We don't know if this is happening, but there's more talk about Mephisto getting his own Disney Plus special. And just at the last minute, like right before we went on air, we discovered one of our friends simping big time for Jenna Ortega. So we're going to call that out. We're going to go ahead and discuss that, what's going on there.
That should be
before we get to it. How's your day been, George?
It's been pretty good.
Nothing special? Nothing happened? Nothing interesting?
No, I mean, other than the fact that it's Thursday, the day before Friday. I get my weekend. I did get my Shazam tickets today.
Oh, you're actually going to go see that, even with the the bad word of mouth and everything.
I mean, I'll go see it and make my own opinion about it.
I like I said, I still haven't seen the first Shazam. I guess I'll watch them both when they're both on HBO Max, wherever it is they end up. Oh,
But yeah,
George's voice sounds like it's been piped. What's up, 56K?
Yeah. I'll fix my mic again, maybe. Because I think I was having a similar problem yesterday when I first got on air and stream.
Well, George fixes his mic. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this article here about Miss Jenna Ortega. Oh, wrong article. Damn it. Hold on. Because we had two articles about Jenna. That's the one we want. All right. Scroll back up to the top here. It says, Wednesday star Jenna Ortega's rude comments should kill her career. But they won't. This is in regards to, I don't know if everybody remembers, but Jenna Ortega basically said she decided that she didn't like what was written in the script. She changed the script without authorization. She just decided that that's what she was going to do. She was going to do the job of the writers, the producers, directors. You know, she's going to take the reins, despite no one actually asking her to do so. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this. It says, what makes Jenna Ortega think she could publicly trash her employer and get away with it? Everybody and everything, that's what. Such is the punishment-free, cowering in terror, you do you, be well world we live in. I don't think that's the case. I think it's female privilege. I think Jenna Ortega is displaying how we live in this world where if a dude did this, right, he'd get canceled, he'd get fired, people would call him a dick. Like, hey, this guy's, difficult to work with. Jenna Ortega does it. She's a young female, sort of attractive to some people. That's not why she gets away with it. You agree or disagree, George, with my assessment so far?
I mean, this isn't anything new in the industry. I mean, there's always like people that like stars that always have to put their input. The fact that I think it's the fact that she admits it and is like unforgiving about it that I think rubbed off a lot of people.
All right. So it says the 20-year-old star of Netflix massive hit Wednesday. Is it a massive hit? I mean,
I honestly don't know. I canceled my Netflix back in November. I haven't even gone back to like go back on Netflix.
I think the I've heard most people say that it's kind of middling, and like the only really like breakout moment was the stupid dance that she did that like went viral on TikTok and everything. Like no one's really talking about like the story or like, oh my god, you got to watch Wednesday because it's it's such a great story and the character arc and the development and all. It's just like it's some mediocre Addams Family. Now I don't want to say spinoff because it's not even that. It's like a reimagining almost.
I mean, I'm hearing mixed thoughts about it. Like some people say it's very good. It's one of like Tim Burton's best like projects in years. But I also hear people comparing it to like a CW show or like a show from Freeform, like one of those like teen or tween like dramas.
Toker says if you're a TikTok age, it's a hit. It's probably,
basically
probably aged out. I've aged out of the market for the show. That's what it is.
I've never even been a big Addams Family fan, so it doesn't really attract me. Even though I like scary or like stuff like that.
Finbar says my kid been watching that Wednesday shit on repeat nonstop. Isn't your kid like 7, Finbar? She's a little young. You watching Wednesday?
Yeah, well, I got like kids at work that are saying I want to do the Wednesday dance. I'm like, what Wednesday dance?
Yeah, I heard about that Wednesday dance. I was like, well, let me see. Right, this has got to be interesting. Everyone's talking about it. I went and looked it up. And I was like, wow, this is so dumb. Like, I don't see how this became popular. Again, I've aged out of the demographic, obviously. It says massive hit Wednesday. Already a national treasure in her own mind. Damn. recently said on Dak Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast that her behavior at work was unprofessional. So she herself says, hey, the things I did were unprofessional. I shouldn't have did it. They were unprofessional. So she's admitted. This is not like she did some stuff and like she's pretending or downplaying it or even excusing it. She's just openly admitting, hey, it's unprofessional. And somehow it's okay, though. Interesting. Ortega wasn't on a teary-eyed apology tour atoning for her sins. No, she was extolling her rotten behavior as a virtue. On the podcast, the actress, who's also in Scream 6, discussed how, like an authoritarian dictator, she was self-appointed script doctor on Wednesday, and that she deserves the utmost thanks from the actual paid unionized writers for bettering their thoughtless schlock. Damn. Did she actually put it like that, or is he putting a spin on this?
I mean, this New York Post, they like to put a spin on stuff. Like, I do believe she definitely played a role in a lot of changes to the show. I think, though, they're kind of like twisting like some of the wording a little bit, though.
Toker says, if you're a fan of the OG show or the movies, it's definitely not for you. Yeah, it's not for me. Rumor says, yeah, she's 8. Kids these days. I don't really, because my kid's grown up now. I don't work with kids or really deal. I don't have like nieces or nephews or anything I got to worry about. So there were times on the set where I became almost unprofessional in a sense, where I just started changing lines. Ortega said, proudly citing the sort of action that would get anybody else in any other profession fired. I don't know about that. Like I've done things at some jobs where they're like, "Hey, do it this way." I'm like, "No, this is a better way to do it, right?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, you're right. That actually is a better way to do it."
It's like I said, like she's not the first nor the last in the industry to do something like that. Like I remember, like Harrison Ford, I think changed some lines in like Star Wars. So this isn't like anything new.
No. The script supervisor thought I was going with something, and then I had to sit down with writers, and they'd be like, wait, what happened to the scene? And I'd have to go and explain why I couldn't go do certain things. Some of those things, Wednesday being in a love triangle, it made no sense. I don't know. I've heard this, like when she was saying, like a love triangle makes no sense, and it's like, yeah, you don't own the character because you're playing the character. It doesn't mean you own the character or you've created the character or you know the character better than the people writing the character. The ones that were paid to write it or the ones who were paid to make the script and to decide on the direction of the show and everything. Right? Just be like, hey, that plot point that you have and it's probably going to come up in several shows and several episodes, or we just fuck it, just get rid of it because I don't like it. I think it's bad. I think it's kind of fucked up. I mean, I can understand going, hey guys, like in a meeting or like, in rehearsals going, hey, I don't think this is the best, here's an idea I had or something, right? Like, but to just be like, no, I'm not doing it. I signed on to do a job, but I'm just not going to do the job because I don't like the direction that you've picked. Seems a bit entitled. Hey, what's up, 1-inch biceps? Joseph Santos says, Wednesday Addams is my hero, but Wednesday was a bad show. Great character in the wrong show. Jenna said the show was supposed to be for a younger audience. She demanded changes, barely worked. Well, that's going to be a problem too, right? Because if the show is written for a specific audience and then she's coming in and changing it, and now you're going to have a mismatch between other scenes, the intention, the focus of the show, what it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to do. The two visions are now going to clash. And that's probably why the show wasn't as good as it could have been, right? I mean, if they went completely with Jenna Ortega's idea, it could have been a better show. Or if they went completely with the original idea, it could have been a better show. But when you try to do two things, right, a man can't have two masters, as they say.
Yeah, there's clearly a clash of visions that was happening with this, which is kind of weird because this is like a show Tim Burton's involved in. So, and I know Tim Burton hasn't been as best like in recent years, but that's because he's been focused on doing these like remakes and reboots. So like you would think like something like Addams Family, which would be in his element, there wouldn't be like this clash of visions, but here we are.
Yeah, and it's weird that someone like a Tim Burton to be involved in this and to just let this go on. It's Kind of weird. You would think he would have been like, "Hey, fuck it, I'm Tim Burton. Who the hell do you think you are coming in here trying to change things the way we're doing this?"
Again, this is also a Netflix show, so the question is like, is Netflix like pushing like them to do it this direction? So like, it may not even be like Tim Burton or Jenna Ortega. It could be like a Netflix problem.
Yeah, that's true. But again, Netflix ordered the show. I'm sure they got the writers. They said, "Hey, this is the show we want. We want a Wednesday show geared towards, say, a younger audience." Because I think she's like what, like in high school,
Or like, at least like around that age range.
Because I read, I'm pretty sure in the original, I don't want to say original, but in the Addams Family movie, the original Addams Family, she's like a little girl. She's like, I want to say like 8, 9-ish, right? Then I think in the movies they kind of aged her up because Christina Ricci, she started off young, but then by the second movie she already got older and taller and everything. But I still think she was like maybe 12, 13-ish.
Well, I just looked this up. So Tim Burton directed like the first 4 episodes. Then after that, it was like different directors. So like the question is like, what like, when did this happen? Like with what directors? Because there's like 3 different directors for this. Like Tim Burton directed the first 4, then someone else came in and directed the next 2, and then someone directed the next 2. There's 8 episodes in the season.
What's up, DL?
Hello, everybody.
Hey, D.
What do you think about this whole Jenna Ortega situation? Have you heard about it?
What Jenna Ortega situation?
Jenna Ortega changing the script, making decisions on the set, and basically this writer for the New York Post saying, "Hey, she should probably get canceled for this. It should kill her career for her diva behavior, but it's probably not because."
What exactly did she say? Did they say? I don't know.
Well, what she said was basically that she agreed that her behavior was unprofessional on the set, but that she decided on her own, unilaterally, to change scripts, to axe certain things that were in the script, certain scenes, and just to go, "No, we're not doing that. We're doing it this way."
Okay. Well, all right. So since like we don't like know exactly what she said like this, that's warranted with which they call diva. I mean, I don't want to judge too much, but going off of this, I guess, let's also keep in mind who she's working with. This is Tim Burton, who has done a bunch of shit shows the past 2 years. So
yeah. But we have also just discovered right before you popped in, Tim Burton only did the first 4 episodes. You said, George?
Yeah.
But did he write all the episodes?
That I'm not too sure. I'm gonna see if it says that, because no. So some of them have like different writers for different episodes. He probably produced all of them. He's an executive producer, so he produced all of them.
Okay. Well, I personally don't like divas in Hollywood. I don't like how they're acting. However, if what she's saying about changing the script and stuff like that, if it's turning out that people are loving the show, and it's probably because she did make changes, so maybe it's kind of a good thing. But even then, I don't condone disrespect on a set. That should not be at all. So I'm kind of 2 minds about that, I guess. If it turned out it made the product better, okay, cool.
But we don't know. It's hard to judge, right? Because we don't have the other version to compare it to, right? Like at least like when you're talking like Justice League, Zack Snyder's, you could compare the two and say, I like this better versus this. In this instance, we only know what they did, right? Because she said, I'm not doing that thing that you wanted, like the love triangle. We're not doing that because I said we're not doing it. So we don't know how that would have turned out. We don't know how that would have played up into further episodes and how the story would have progressed had they done the things that were originally written by the people hired to write them.
I mean, yeah, I guess we'll never know, and maybe they could have been better. But were people worried about this until this article came out? Were people worried about that?
Well, she came out on a podcast and was talking about it herself and basically bragging about how she did these things.
I mean, once again, like I don't like people that are snobby and act like divas. I don't like that. However, and I haven't watched the show yet, so
I haven't either.
I haven't either. But a lot of people are raving about it. So you know, if it would be a different situation if the show came out and the creative choices that did end up happening was end up getting a mixed to negative response, that'll be another thing. But I'm like, whatever choices she did contribute to the show, it must have turned out great. I don't know. So that's I mean that's all I gotta say about it really. You know.
Well, Wednesday has an 86 audience score, a 71 on the critic score.
Oh, I didn't know it was that low. With the critics.
I mean, it definitely sounds like it's one of Tim Burton's better like reviewed projects in the last few years.
Yeah. And then once again, like even though I guess it seems like Tim Burton wasn't involved in everything about this show, once again, Tim Burton being involved in anything makes me dubious because he hasn't made a lot of good things the past 2 years. So maybe Jenna needed to, contribute some stuff here and there. I mean, how she did it, if it was right or not, that was a different story. But
Yeah, well, according to Jenna Ortega herself and other people, the show was supposed to be geared towards a younger audience because, like we were discussing, originally, Wednesday Addams is like 6. I just looked it up. She was like 6. Then she's like 12, 13 in the movies, the live action movies.
mm-hmm,
And then in this, I think she's supposed to be like 15,
mm-hmm.
despite Jenna Ortega obviously not being 15. So they wanted to gear it towards more of a, we're going to focus on the teenage character. It's going to be more like a teen show. And she wanted it like a little darker, a little edgier.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm personally, because I love the Addams Family. Like I pretty much have seen almost every incarnation of the Addams Family, and it always seems like they want to go darker, but they always got to appeal to a certain degree to families, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It worked for a long time, but like with Wednesday being like a teenager, I think it already like sets up that they're going to get into darker situations. So I don't know. I don't mind it going in a little more of a darker direction because me personally, I would have loved to see a version of the Addams Family that leaned more towards adults. So.
Yeah.
But if it was geared to teenagers, it still probably would have been a good show. Like you don't need a whole bunch of like violence in the Addams Family in a Addams Family anything, but like it would just be interesting to see a more adult side to the Addams Family because they are like scary people, So I don't know.
But they were always presented, at least in the original comic, like they were weird, but they weren't necessarily like, they're not the Manson family, right? They're not out there like murdering people and doing shit like that. They were just weird. It was like they would do things that were like normal people wouldn't do, like.
Right.
So, our friend here, RJ, who inspired this discussion, he says New York Post posting trash attack pieces and clown takes. Ooh. Says, I mean, they gave her executive producer credit for season 2 and beyond, so clearly her creative inputs were needed. I like the show, by the way. I mean, not necessarily, right? If she's doing all this shit, and they're like, you know what, fuck it, make her executive producer, because now if it bombs, it's on her, right? Like we could be like, see.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because if she's gonna do it anyway, right? Like if she's doing this anyway and she's making these decisions, you might as well, right? Like if you're gonna be the coach, we might as well give you the title and let you make the calls.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just was gonna ask, like, so is Tim Burton just like the idea man of this show? Is that what it is?
I don't even know at this point because it is based on like you said, the Addams Family property. They have writers and a script supervisor. He might just be, producing it and like giving some creative input overall. But that might be the end of it.
Yeah, because like I said, like this show, like he directed the first 4 episodes, but then like you had a different director for the next two, and then a different director for the next two, and like you have like different writers for certain episodes. So like so it really kind of depends, and we don't really know like what directors or writers she had problems with.
Yeah, and as far as I know, Tim Burton hasn't said anything about this yet. And Finbar reminds us that RJ is, in fact, a Jenna Ortega's simp.
But
I mean,
also here's the thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to make a little silly comment. I mean, she is 20, so she's probably a little young for me. But hey, who wouldn't sip over Jenna?
The thing is, I don't even know if it's a problem with Tim Burton, because you gotta remember, like I think it was like last week there were like rumors and talks that she could be in Beetlejuice 2, which is obviously going to be a project Tim Burton's going to be involved in, even if he's not like the official director. Like he's definitely still going to stay on as a producer. So it may not even be a problem with Tim Burton; it could just be a problem with some of the other directors or just the writers.
I mean, it could be.
Yeah. All right, let's go on. It says, Jenna, you're on a mediocre spinoff of the Addams Family that's best known for a flailing arms dance on TikTok. Nothing about it makes sense. When the writers are saying to you, wait, what happened to the scene? You have crossed an obvious line and no longer doing your job. I agree with this. Ortega's egotistical nonsense is a throwback to Katherine Heigl's petulance in the early days of Grey's Anatomy. We're not going to go through all this, but basically, Katherine Heigl was a diva on set, and she screwed her own career for a long time. People were refusing to work with her. Says she's still on the rise with at least 4 movies in the work. Insanely, the actress has made an executive producer on the 2nd season of Wednesday. It's like your boss discovered you sitting in her office chair, shouting orders at your peers, and said, "You're absolutely right. You're in charge now." Stephen tonight, a producer whose credits include Buffy the Vampire Slayer and who isn't working on Wednesday, did, however, have the guts to call out Ortega, sort of. On Twitter, he declared her comments entitled and toxic, but then had to walk it back after an outcry from fans. Yeah, of course, she's got a bunch of fans, people like RJ, who attack the writer of this article on Twitter because, RJ is a simp.
So if you're sipping for Jenna, RJ, does that mean I could have Haley Steinfeld now?
He said that before. He moved on.
Great.
I thought I made the claim to move on with Haley.
You know what? Step aside, young man.
This, I think, is the article's main takeaway and what they really wanted to hammer home. It says Ortega should be criticized for her ungrateful comments. Instead, she's being celebrated. I agree.
Honestly, I'll take what's her name in Scream? Her older sister. Shit.
Melissa Barrera.
Yeah, actually, I'll take her. I like her.
All right, so this is Stephen tonight, whose comments were brought up. His credits include, let's take a look real quick: Spartacus, Daredevil, Pacific Rim, Uprising, Buffy, Angel, Smallville, other stuff. So he did some other stuff. He says, I love talking with actors about their line stories, but by the nature of the beast, they don't have the full picture in TV of where the story is going and why some lines are needed for the whole to make sense. She's young, so maybe she doesn't know any better, but she should. She should also ask herself how she would feel. The showrunners gave an interview and talked about how difficult she was and refused to perform the material. It's true. And then he goes on to say, this kind of statement is beyond entitled and toxic. I love her work, but life's too short to deal with people like this in the business. Ooh.
Ouch.
Then, of course, he got attacked by the fans and had to walk it back. But it does sound like she's being entitled. Look, like I said at the top of this, she's not the writer. She didn't create Wednesday. It's not her character. She was paid to read lines and follow the script. Right?
I mean, didn't you say she was a producer, though?
No, they made her a producer on the second season.
Oh, they made her on the second one. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's a sticky situation with that.
The thing I thought the show, man, that's Autocorrect gone wrong. Absolutely gets wrong. Is surrounding Wednesday with a bunch of other weird characters. The appeal is that she's a fish out of water. She should have been the only oddball. Well, yeah, that's what I thought was stupid too. Was that they took her out of the regular school and they put her in the like the Adams Family people type school. I was like,
Oh.
I'm not attacking. I'm just calling it an attack piece and a clown take. That's not an attack. That's criticism. Let's see what you said, RJ. Let's bring up exactly what started this whole conversation. So RJ says, men in the industry can say some of the most nasty, unprofessional shit you can imagine about the industry or their peers. But the moment a woman speaks out about the creative process and wanting to do right by the character and fans, suddenly she's a diva to the media. Get the fuck out. I don't think this is 100% true, RJ, because men who say nasty, unprofessional shit, they get canceled all the time.
Mhm.
And she wasn't speaking out about the creative process, RJ. She wasn't saying, hey, I had a disagreement, or we were in the writer's room together, or I spoke to a producer, or I spoke to the script supervisor and offered suggestions, and they blew me off. She literally said that they were ready to do scenes, and they're like, hey, what happened to the scene? And Jenna's like, I took it out. I decided to take that scene out because I feel like that's not Wednesday. It's 100% not in her purview. 100% not her job, right?
I mean, I'm surprised she did. Well, they can't really fire her because she's the main star.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand wanting to respect a character that you care about and that you're getting to play, but I feel like she could have probably handled this a lot better. And there are, like I said, this isn't the first nor the last time that this has happened in the industry. I feel like though this is the first time that someone has kind of bragged about it.
Yeah.
Like usually this is like closed door like things
Tom
that kind of happen.
And again, I think this is also a unique situation because it's a TV show. This is the first time she's played this character, right? And again, she's 20, so she's a little old for me, but she's 20. And she didn't grow up with it, and obviously with the Addams Family. She, Christina Ricci's portrayal was long gone and forgotten by the time she was even born. The previous generations of TV Addams Family, she probably never even heard of. She probably never read the comic strips. Let's be real, right? She didn't express any love for Wednesday. I don't see people going, man, Jenna Ortega has been, tweeting about Wednesday for years and years, and she loves this character, and she's a huge Addams Family fan, right? None of that shit. So for her to just like, hey, you got cast in a role, and now she's taking control. Like, I know what's best for the character. I know the character better than other people.
Well, I feel like she also now has this confidence that she can brag about it because her star is rising. Like she's in. Like the rumors are growing that she could be in Beetlejuice 2. She's coming off another well-received and so far successful Scream film. Like she's, as far as young stars go, she's like, I wouldn't say on top of the world, but she's definitely up there.
On top of the world, Ma. We know how that ended.
Oh boy.
For the younger audience, that's a scene where characters doesn't end well. Look it up. 56 says, who cares? Show's going to get canceled sooner or later by Netflix. She grew up in an era of social media. Stop living in olden times, you old farts. I'm not living in olden times.
I'm 26. Like,
I'm
this
28.
is like,
What do you mean?
this is like part of my generation. Like, I'm a little old school, but it's like I'm not an old fart.
You're 28, DL?
Yeah, I'm 28.
So then how did you say that Jenna Ortega is too young for you?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like my cutoff point is like maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be completely against it if I met somebody that was 20 years old, but I'm like, I feel like my cutoff point may be like 23, 24, personally. But as I said, I could meet somebody who's 20 who, meet all the stuff that I like in a woman. I don't know.
Yeah, my cutoff point's 18.
Cool. Good for you, man. Good for you. As long as they're legal.
That's what I'm saying. Finbar says he's going to join me in simping for B. Arthur. That's right. I love me some B. Arthur. We don't got no other Golden Girls fans on the panel?
I mean, I watched.
I enjoyed it.
some stuff. I watch some Golden Girls.
I grew up on the Golden Girls. I love them. They're fantastic. Like I said, B. Arthur will always have a special place in my heart. She was in Star Wars Holiday Special. She poured a drink in that dude's head.
Oh boy, he had to bring up the holiday special, huh?
Uh-oh. Should we bring in the simp?
Oh, he's here?
He's here.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
What's up, RJ?
Did you only do this topic because you saw my tweet before you went live?
Yeah, I literally said that when we were talking about it. I said, literally, before we went live, I saw your tweet, and I was like, hey, we should talk about this.
I mean, I think I'm very accurate with my analysis of this.
So you don't think there was nothing wrong, and none of her behavior was diva-like?
I think it can be perceived as being diva-like, but you know what? Sometimes in real life, outside of Hollywood, you need to stick up for yourself. You need to stick up for not only yourself, but also the integrity of your work. And sometimes you may have to push buttons.
Okay,
but,
so hold on. Let me cut you off here.
Yeah.
What was it that she was sticking up for herself? In what regards? Were they mean to her, and then she told them off?
I don't think it's that case. Listening to the interview, at least I haven't listened to the whole thing, but the parts that I did listen to, it's not. It's more so the fact that she is a fan of the character and the property, and I think that when looking at some of the script choices that were made, she felt, hey, like this doesn't uphold the integrity of the character that both has existed before and the one that you've already written. Okay, so let's change things for the better. Now, sometimes
hold on, RJ, you're going too far, because what I asked you, because what you said was, sticking up for herself. So how did any of that, what you just said, go to the issue of sticking up for herself? What was it that she was sticking up for herself for, in your estimation?
I would say she's sticking up for the choices that she made as an actress in her behavior. I think that she definitely addressed the fact, like, hey, did I probably go a little too far? Potentially. I mean, she even said, like, I was being a little bit borderline unprofessional, you could argue. So she's not, like, being in denial about it. It's not like she's saying, oh, I was a perfect angel, right? Because I don't think any actor's a perfect angel on a set. To be perfectly honest with you, everyone's going to clash at some point with something.
So then nothing in her behavior was sticking up for herself at all, by your own admission now. You've completely walked back your own talking point.
I don't think so, because I think at the end of the day, she's sticking up for her choice.
No. We're not arguing what she's doing now. We're talking about on set. You said she was sticking up for herself when she did the things that she did on set. So what was it that she was sticking up for herself on set? What was it that they were telling her to do that she's like, no, this is bad for me personally, in a personal manner?
Okay, since you rephrase it, I can better understand what you're saying. I don't necessarily think she's sticking up for herself. I think she's trying to stick up for the integrity of the project and the character. Okay. That, I think, is an important distinction here. So you are correct in that regard. So I am sort of re-articulating what I'm trying to say. I think she's trying to stick up more for the integrity of the show and the character that she's portrayed.
How many writing credits does Jenna Ortega have under her belt?
I'd probably say 0, but I don't know.
Do you think the people who wrote the script and put the show together would maybe have a smaller amount of writing credits under their belt?
Oh, no. I understand what you're going with this. I understand the writers are experienced, but even the most experienced writer can sometimes make a mistake that someone can be like, hey, let's try and do this different.
But she didn't say, hey, let's try to do this. She literally said, I'm not doing the thing that's in the script that you wrote or paid to write. I am literally saying, no, we're going to do it this other way because I've
no. The way she described it was that when they would start shooting the scene, she'd go off script and improvise and say something different.
She literally says, and I quote, the script supervisor asked, what happened to this scene? And I said, I took it out because it doesn't work. End quote.
Yeah, that's called improvising. A lot of actors.
That's not improvising. Improvising is when you go action and you read a different line.
Well, actually,
Not
no,
a scene. A
No,
whole
you're not
scene.
reading a different line. You're coming
No.
up with a line on the spot.
Yeah, improvisation doesn't mean the actual physical getting rid of a script or not. It
Right.
actually does mean like coming up with stuff on the fly. That's
Coming
It,
up
me-
on
it
the
means
fly,
you're
but
going off
that's
script and doing something on your own.
right off script, but there's still within certain parameters, right? I mean, you don't improvise by just flailing your arms around and like smacking everybody, right? You'd be like, wait, what the fuck you doing? That's you've gone too far.
Well,
it depends
depe-
what the context of the scene.
Yeah, it depends on context of the scene because sometimes actors will improvise and it'll wildly change the tone of a scene or the intentions of the writer. It depends.
See, Toker says improvising is changing a line of dialogue. There's a difference between changing dialogue and getting rid of a scene completely. Right? Like, I'm not even doing the scene. We're not even doing a different version of the scene. We're just not doing this scene. She literally said, we're not doing a love triangle. I've decided no love triangle.
That's not the definition of improvising, by the way. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what he's talking about.
Who, me?
No,
Toker.
Mr. Toker. That's not the definition of improvising.
Yeah, like I'm not. When I'm okay, so I think perhaps I'm confused as to what exactly is.
So you've come to the defense of Jenna Ortega without actually knowing what was said, what was done, or what happened on set by anyone's recollection or telling of the story. And somehow you've led me to believe that you're not a sim.
Yes.
Does anybody on the panel believe this?
I mean,
I'm going to stick up for the actor because I think oftentimes in these cases, I think people, especially the media, in this case, the New York Post, which let's be fair, the New York Post is a rag. Okay, they're a sensationalist media place. Okay,
I love how newspapers are rags the second they say things about people.
No, the New York Post has always been a rag. I've always thought that about them before this. My whole thing is, I think in the age of clickbait and social media attention whoring, I think that a lot of people are desperate for clicks. And I think it's very easy to write a negative article about somebody because they are being perceived a certain way by probably an older gentleman who thinks Hollywood needs to be a certain way. That's my take, at least. And I think, again,
we lost him.
Uh-oh.
RJ?
Simping so hard he busted his mic.
Wait, oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you guys know I'm split. You guys know I'm split on the situation, because like if the product came out and it was shit, then we could probably blame kind of Jenna a little bit with improvising certain things. But
it's got a
it's so
71% critic score, so it's middling at best. He says computer crashed, the whole thing went down.
Oh,
no
shit.
joke.
Man, you sim so hard you caused your computer to crash?
No, he says, don't worry, RJ's computer is improvising.
Oh, you're funny. But dang, what was I gonna say?
Oh my gosh.
Sipping so hard he busted a nut, more like it.
Wow. Oh yeah, it ain't show friends, it's show business, man. So it's like if and also let's keep in mind we're still dealing with Tim Burton to a certain extent, even though it's not everything. He has involvement in this, and I don't fully trust him. So if she thinks the scene doesn't work, I mean, I don't know. Man. I wasn't there. As long as she's not being completely nasty all the time, which it doesn't seem like she is, it'll be another story. I don't know. We weren't in the room. We didn't see how the creative process is. We don't really have to care about it now because it's successful. It's successful. So I don't know. And we have to see how she's acting in her future projects or in the season 2. What's gonna happen? But I don't know. What you want me to say? She's a bitch. Fuck her. Is that what you want me to say?
That's what
If that's how you feel,
that's not how I feel. I'm really indifferent about it. I'm very honest.
No one was asking you to say any of that. You just kind of.
By the way, I'm on my phone. I'm on my phone, so I'm probably going to be lagging and interrupting a little bit more than usual because phone StreamYard sucks. My computer should be fixed in 16 minutes. It literally says it has to scan the entire system memory now. I have no clue what happened.
Wow.
I don't know. That was just the weirdest thing. But to finish the point I was making, I do think in the industry, especially when it comes to these newspaper rags and these tabloid publications, they do like to search for the negativity and then like searching for easily clickable headlines. I think it's very easy to go after someone who's very popular right now. And I do think that there's men in the industry who say even more importantly unprofessional things, who get ragged, served by like the fan circles and social media, but the media protects. So it's very odd to me that there's this double standard that exists. Okay, I have no problem with people writing opinion pieces like saying, hey, this actor is being unprofessional, or I don't like what this person says. But be a bit more consistent. And I think in media and tabloid journalism, there's a lack of consistency.
Okay, so hopefully RJ can follow along what I'm going to say here because he is lagging, as he said. But this has nothing to do with any other man. You're sort of deflecting the point here because, again, show me one example of a man who literally scrapped scenes and got away with it. That's what we're talking. This isn't about being nasty. If you read the article from the New York Post, they didn't say Jenna Ortega is saying crazy, nasty things. She shouldn't have a job. They're saying she acted unprofessionally. She did things outside of her purview as an actor. And that because of that, she probably shouldn't get work because people should be avoiding her because she's going to be tough to work with.
Who are they to dictate whether or not she deserves to work in the industry?
They're nobody. They're having an opinion. That's why people.
Okay. That's my point, though. Like, it's very bold of someone to be like, this person said this, therefore they shouldn't work again.
No, that's not what he said, though. See, you're not understanding, RJ. He didn't say Jenna Ortega said this, she shouldn't work again. He said Jenna Ortega's behavior is why she shouldn't work. Her behavior, not what she said. She didn't make a mean tweet. She didn't say bad, nasty things about somebody on set. She literally did things that he says, I don't think this sort of behavior should be celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're like in this weird, like trying to defend a thing that no one's talking about.
Well, I do have an example of the media protecting a man, Tony, as you described, who removed scenes.
Who's that?
Joss Whedon. The media went to bat for Joss Whedon so hard in 2017 during the Justice League fiasco. And even post Justice League, you had places
RJ,
writing articles trying to defend him.
RJ, what was Joss Whedon's job?
His job was to come in and basically redo an entire
No, not basically. What was his job title? What was his role?
I would assume you're talking about like officially credited, or are you talking about in general when it came to what he was asked to do?
Officially credited. What was he doing on
as
the
far
set?
as I'm aware, the only credit he got for the movie, and I had to go back and look, I believe he was given a story credit. But during the time of the reshoots, he was the acting director.
Okay, so he was the acting director. Okay, and what does an acting director do? What is under their purview?
Well, if we're talking about the specific situation that he was
no, we're not talking about
in,
specific. We're talking about just someone who basically this is their job. They're the acting director. And look at Sean says only one person who was his friend at Variety went to bat for Joss.
No, I saw a couple of different articles, especially in 2017, where they're like defending him. And I remember Hollywood Reporter at the time saying, "Oh, this is so great. He's gonna." And no, Sean, you're right. You do get more clicks for ripping people down, which is what the New York Post is doing here. I think that they're trying to, someone's very popular right now. So even the picture they put, oh, we're gonna put her like a mean, smug face. It's like it's so desperate for attention, and that's why I called it out, because I think the New York Post is engaging in tabloid journalism. I think they're kind of engaging in unethical practices, in my opinion. Again, that's just my opinion. It's okay if people think I'm wrong. I mean,
I do agree they did not pick the best picture for Jenna.
That's just a tweet, though. That's not even that picture is nowhere in the article.
Yeah, because again, they want the Twitter attention.
It's basically like a thumbnail, like a YouTube thumbnail, but for like an article. Like, what's going to get clicks?
I can't argue with that. It got RJ to click on it and not read the actual article, but he clicked.
No, I read the article. I read it. I still disagree with it. I think it's a very. What was the word I described it earlier in the chat? I said it was a very clown take or whatever.
Yeah, but what about Stephen the Knight? Stephen the Knight said that she was entitled and her behavior was toxic.
I respect Stephen S. tonight. I think he's a really good writer, although I still don't forgive him for Pacific Rim Uprising because it was a terrible sequel.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah,
I
Pacific
never
Rim,
even seen
yeah,
it.
Pacific Rim-
Dale's now on the other side. He's like, oh.
Nah.
Pacific Rim Uprising was a terrible sequel that I think ruined that franchise and ruined a lot of the characters that Guillermo del Toro set up. But I don't blame him for that. I still respect him, especially for his work on Daredevil and Spartacus, of course. And I respect him as a writer. And he's allowed to have his opinion. That's what I'll say. I mean, I'm not going to trash him and be like, oh, this guy has no clue he's talking about. He has more experience in his pinky finger than I do my entire life when it comes to writing and working in Hollywood. You know? I may not 100% agree with what he's saying, but he's allowed to have an opinion.
Ray Fisher was the example Finbar tried to bring up, but then he said, oh, wait.
See, even Sean O'Rourke agrees that New York Post is trash.
Director, RJ, just say director.
Well, he was acting director, though. He wasn't the official director. He's not credited as director in the final cut. He's only acting director during a 60-day period of reshoots. So...
Can we just look at this as a happy incident, and if she continues with this behavior, then maybe we could.
I don't think it's going to be an issue. Like I said, everyone's talking about it right now because this Spotify interview went up, but I think most people really don't care.
Yeah, again, if this show came out and it sucked, then maybe people will be thinking different. But like. Maybe there's some people that are thinking maybe it's a good thing that she did interfere in the writing.
Mm-hmm. And
I feel like
this is real quick. Oh, sorry, I am laggy. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to make one quick point real quick about the show. I really liked the Wednesday show. I thought it was really good. There were some things that I think could have been improved upon, and again, I think that the whole romantic love triangle thing was kind of like, it's kind of CW-y, okay? I like the show, but there are moments where that show kind of feels a bit cheesy and CW-y, especially with like the romance stuff.
Yeah, but I think that's what they wanted to go for, RJ. They literally said the show was aimed at younger audience.
Oh, I know it's aimed at younger audiences, and the writers and the showrunners come from Smallville, so obviously it might feel like that for another reason too. Well, I know you say ugh, but I think it's actually pretty good. Like I said, I really, really, really like the show. So listen,
I'm sure you do.
But again, like if it's a common criticism, like, hey, we kind of want to move past this romance, like let's do more mystery, let's do more horror. Then hey, as someone who's in charge of the show now, I don't think it's an issue to say, hey, I kind of agree with those criticisms. You know.
All right, so we've spent way too much.
Yeah, we spent quite a bit of time.
Like an hour on this.
Yeah. Sean says New York Post is trash. It probably is. It is trash. I wasn't denying that, but I was just trying to get when people say things, I like to get the reason behind it, right? I like to dig deep. As far as this situation, again, if it was the way RJ tried to frame it, like she just said, "Hey, I think this should be this way," I would have no problem with this, right? But when you're just making these unilateral decisions as an actor, not a writer, not a producer, not a director, and it comes off as a little diva-ish. She's a producer now, so good for her. It paid off in the end, right? All right. Yeah. Moving on. Unless there was anything you guys wanted to.
Nope, that's all I gotta say.
The only thing I'm just gonna add is I do think this would have been a bigger issue if this was the Scream films, but since it's a television show, I don't think it's gonna get as much attention.
Yeah, that's another thing. If it was Scream, it would have been another conversation.
All right, so another DC movie came out, and critics are not loving it, not loving it at all. In fact, Shazam: Fury of the Gods has a 54% on the tomato meter. It is certified rotten.
Oh my god!
The critics do not love it. The audience is given an 83.
It's just a shock to me because the last time I saw it, it was like in the 70s. Like, damn.
Yeah, it's been going low. It's been. What I don't like. Well, let's see. Hold on. Is there a way to see? There it is. The top critics. 10 Top critics have given it a 26. That's
Jeez,
ridiculous.
that's crazy.
All right, so before
Damn.
we I think we got to clarify some things because a lot of people do not understand how Rotten Tomatoes works. Okay, a 26% by top critics does not mean that they're giving it a 26% out of 100, right? That's not what it means. What it means is 26% of the critics gave it a 3.5 or higher. Okay. That's not the average. That's not the star rating. People get this weird confusion and think that that number equals star rating. It's not. It's not the star rating. So literally, it could have a 3 stars out of 5 from most of the critics, which is middling, right? Not bad, not terrible, but still get a 26% Rotten Tomato score because of how they do their scores.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's math time. 56. You know I love my math. But still, that is pretty bad.
Yeah, I still think their system's a bit flawed, but man, and like didn't the first Shazam, wasn't it in like the 90s?
It was like 90%. Like I just like checked it. Like it was at 90. Like the first Shazam got like great reviews.
This is Wonder Woman 84 all over again.
Well, here's the thing again. So you're saying the first Shazam was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
But again, if 90% of the critics gave it a 3.5, that would give it a 90% Rotten Tomato score. Even though most people think it's a 3.5, which is still middling, right? It's not excellent. 90% makes it sound like, oh, that's a fucking 9 out of 10. That's not even what they're saying.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like the system to me is so flawed because there'll be times when like a movie will get like a 2.5 out of 4. And like for one movie, that'll be considered like a positive score. But then for another movie or another reviewer, it'll be like considered a negative.
See?
So they got a flawed system because, you know, sometimes like what will be deemed positive will be deemed negative for another reviewer or for another movie.
Exactly, or it would just be like a pity positive rating, being like, okay, I'll give you enough to call it fresh, but like I'm not fully endorsing this movie 100%.
Yeah,
like,
that would be the 3.5. 3.5 is the cutoff, from my recollection. So anything below 3.5 is considered rotten, and 3.5 and higher is considered fresh.
that's why I really encourage people, if you guys still go by Rotten Tomatoes, read the actual comments on the reviews, to get an actual idea of what people thought about it. Don't just go by the numbers and the stars.
Yeah, and as you can see on the screen, I clicked the little question mark so you can see the percentage of approved tomato meter critics who have given this movie a positive review. So again, 54% for all critics, 26% for top critics. That doesn't mean it's got a 26% out of 100, right? That's not it's not a grade. It's just what percentage of critics said it was good versus what percentage of critics said it was bad. The audience score is different, though. The audience score is... What else popping in? It's RG.
Oh my god. Okay, so like literally I went to go like my computer reset, so turn back on and it said hard drive not installed. It made like the loudest beeping noises ever. Then I turned it off and now it works again. I have no clue what's going on. It's very scary.
Uh-oh.
Technology.
Okay. I have no clue what we're talking about.
Apparently, yeah, Shazam.
Oh, I'm glad you're talking about this. Can I offer my take real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Okay. I think critics are like becoming very anti-comic book movie. I don't know what's happened over the last little bit, but I think they're getting way more harsh.
Now, when you say anti-comic book movie, are you talking about in general or everything?
I think in general. I think it's like across the board. Because my whole thing is, based on the people I've talked to who've seen the movie, if you like, it's literally just more of the first movie. And the critics liked the first movie. So, like, why suddenly do they hate it now?
That's a good point. Like I
'Cause
have been
it's
hearing
not
that
like
a
they
lot.
changed it dramatically. It's more, if you like the first movie, you're getting just more of the first movie. It's a little bit darker. It has some more comedy, maybe slightly, and you have the family aspect. But it's like the same movie, basically, just more of it. So it's like I don't understand.
Maybe maybe they fall into the trap of being bigger and more instead of being better, like a lot of sequels do. They try to be bigger and more bombastic than this first movie, and maybe it's like losing like the magic.
But from the people I've talked to, though, who've seen the movie, like, it isn't like that, though. Like, it's very character driven. It's got some good heart. It focuses on the family aspect. It really has, like, it's meant to be a fun family film. Like, it's basically just as strong as the first film. And like I said, I truly believe, I think critics are just being very harsh towards comic book movies right now because I think that they're fatigued with this genre. And I think that they kind of want to see it evolve, and I think they kind of want to see it change to be more like what they want, which is either
What
completely
is what they
different
want?
or to go away.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm-
Maybe they just want the genre to go away now. I don't
Or
know.
they just
I'm
want
gonna-
everything to be grounded and gritty like the Batman.
I'm gonna defend RJ's pick. I feel like I noticed like generic comic book movies are not getting great reviews. It's like you have to be like very special or like unique to really get a great review, like Spider-Man No Way Home or the Batman. Like I feel like, you know, unless you like stand out at this point, which I also understand because I feel like at this point comic book movies I feel like need to evolve. So like I understand, like, you know, for some of them they want to see something new instead of something that's considered cookie cutter. And the first Shazam I thought was actually unique because I felt like superhero films were like going cookie cutter around that time, and I still think some of them fall into that trap. But the first Shazam didn't.
ooh, Sean says the Batman was garbage.
Damn.
That's a
Shots
bad
fired.
take.
Well,
That's a bad take.
that's Sean's opinion, but if you look like the overall opinion of the Batman, the vast majority seem to like that film a lot. But again, it was also considered unique compared to other comic book films by many critics.
Is it though? Is it though?
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a look at a couple of these things because this, I think, really sheds a light on the whole Rotten Tomatoes system, right? Amy Nicholson from the New York Times, top critic, says it's an ungainly mishmash of tones that come together only in one bizarre, wonderful gag when a graying wizard barges into Billy's erotic dream to deliver some very serious exposition with his head fused to Wonder Woman's bronze-plated breast. Okay, she gave it a C minus, and apparently a C minus means bad.
Yeah.
Below average.
Well, when the critic puts in their review, they decide whether or not they're giving it a rotten or a fresh. So by her metric, she believes this is a rotten film.
By this other lady's metric, 2.5 out of 4. She believes that it's a good review.
Yeah, because that's her unique score. Again, when they go in and they put their review score, they decide whether or not they're giving it fresh or rotten.
So I can go, this is a 1 out of 10, fresh.
Well, I think Rotten Tomatoes would check that and be like, that doesn't make sense. Based on your review scale that you've told us that you have. I know, it's very weird. I know it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I know.
It does not.
So 2 out of 4, bad. 2 out of 5, bad. 2.5 out of 4, excellent.
By their metric, by what they told Rotten Tomatoes, yes.
This guy says a C. Adam Graham gave it a C, and that is also rotten.
But a C is average.
Well, remember, they're also... So, okay, when they go in...
Yeah, we got that, RJ. We just...
No, what I'm saying is, like, he may have given it a C, but in his actual review, he says, I don't really like this movie.
Then put a rotten then.
Yeah, then put a D.
Well, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I'm not that guy who wrote it. Listen, I think...
Do you recommend this movie or not? That should be...
Well,
that
that's the issue, DL, is that I think critics, they're very inconsistent with their review scores because...
John Campia gave it a 7 out of 10.
He has a... Wait. Can we look at his Rotten Tomato? I didn't even know he had a Rotten Tomato page.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, some YouTubers actually do have Rotten Tomato pages.
No, because I thought like he was done with like the access and all that. So like...
So does Doug Walker. Doug Walker gave it a 3 out of 4.
Well, here's the
Really?
thing, RJ. There are some YouTubers that actually are Rotten Tomatoes certified. I think Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, Sean Chandler.
See,
They're-
but here's what's
Yeah, Jeremy
interesting,
Johns
right?
right there. He
Did you
gave
give
it
it a fresh or rotten?
rotten.
and he loved the original film. Like he loved the original film.
That's what he says.
Okay.
As someone who loved the first Shazam movie, I was really disappointed with the sequel. As a movie that deals largely with magic, it was surprisingly devoid of it.
Yeah, and listen, that's fair. If you didn't like the movie, that's perfectly fine. What I do find interesting though is that a lot of the YouTube guys who kind of just review movies just because they like movies, for the most part, except for Jeremy Johns, I think they're enjoying the film.
John
But the
Campea,
mainstream critics aren't.
John Campea is a Tomato Meter approved critic.
Oh my God, he gave Thor: Love and Thunder a positive review.
Yeah, he said he liked it. He didn't say
Yeah.
it was great or anything, but he said he still liked it.
He also gave Eternals a positive review.
And House of Gucci, apparently.
That's so fascinating because if you look, he doesn't really go on Rotten Tomatoes too often.
Well, he covers Rotten Tomatoes.
He doesn't
every
go
time
on Rotten
they
Tomatoes too often,
premiere.
RJ?
No, I meant like he hasn't like this.
Does he
this
love
year.
every Punisher
No,
Warzone?
it's-
7 out of 10.
Well, he gave Sicario Day of the Soldado like a rotten.
He gave Happy Time Murders, which is a 23%. He gave it a fresh.
Let's see. Yeah, he basically gives like everything.
Rampage loves it. Tag fucking loves it.
Red Sparrow he gave a negative.
And
A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Even Red Sparrow, he couldn't defend.
he gave Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom positive.
Jesus.
He didn't
What-
like Pacific Rim Uprising. Cancel.
Well, we agree on that. We agree on that.
Great,
Because I don't
we
think
agree
that's
on
a good
that.
movie either.
Cloverfield Paradox 22%.
I thought he didn't like Cloverfield Paradox.
Camper loves it.
I'm also pretty sure he was one of the few critics that defended the theatrical cut of Batman versus Superman.
Oh yeah, he did.
He did.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
like Grace Randolph once accused him of having like a Marvel bias, and he was like, "I love Man of Steel. I like Batman versus Superman. What are you talking about?"
Well, yeah,
He
he
even
says
liked
Man of
Justice
Steel.
League.
That's
Yeah,
right.
he always says Man of Steel is one of the greatest comic movies ever made.
I agree with him on that.
All right, that was a weird sidetrack over there onto John Campea's page.
But
Hey,
also, I saw Sean Chandler posted his review, and he gave the film a B. But he
That's-
said it wasn't as good as the first one, even though he liked the second one.
Yeah, Tony, have you real quick before we move on to another topic? Have you seen the John Campea Exposed YouTube channel?
No.
You should really look into it. It is very interesting and quite informative, and I think John Campea is being exposed as a fraud.
Uh-oh.
I actually think it's quite bad for John, to be honest. I think it makes him look pretty bad.
Sean says the post-credit scene is online. James Gunn connecting it to Peacemaker. Yeah, there's 2 post-credit scenes. One that connects to Peacemaker and one that sort of not wraps up, but continues the post-credit from the first movie.
See, I would have liked to wait and see that in the theater. Thank you for spoiling that.
Yeah, let's see. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Unless he's trolling right now. Unless he's trolling. But
we read the other day how Superman, they're going to show the whole face of Superman, according to the writer.
well, we'll see. I'm going to see it tomorrow, so I'll let you guys know my thoughts very soon.
I'm seeing
Yeah.
it Saturday. I got my tickets for 12 p.m. Saturday.
I'm probably going to see it Saturday as well. I don't know when, though.
Finbar says, I'm actually also with RJ on this. Even I am starting to get sick of generic cookie cutter comic book movies. I know they're not going away, but there's too many that are just a waste of time.
I mean, they do have a point about that. I do feel like comic book movies do need to evolve and get out of this typical formula that they've been doing over the past few years, especially Marvel. They need to try stuff new.
Do they? I mean,
Okay, look, I know their formula's working. They don't have a good reason to change it.
And that's what I'm
I just
saying,
feel
like-
they
like-
do need to change it because they can't do this forever. They can't do this forever. It's okay. They're not in trouble now, but eventually, now that we're seeing the cracks after Phase 4 and what Quantum Mania just did, they need to actually like take this seriously now. Like they actually get focused again.
we are going to actually discuss that. That is one of the topics. So let's put a pin in that. Let's
Sure.
we'll circle back. We'll circle around. I want to get to this Up Rocks article here. The Shazam Fury of the Gods reviews won't be too easy for DC fans to look at. Apparently, like the movie. Ooh, it's throwing shade already.
Oh boy.
The first reviews for Shazam Fury of the Gods are in, and they're not great. The sequel brings back Zachary Levi as a titular hero whose first film was a surprise hit during the overly dark of the Snyderverse. However, based on the reviews, the magic of the original Shazam is missing from the sequel, which also labors under the knowledge that James Gunn is already working on a reboot of the DC universe. Was it a surprise hit? Because they didn't make that much money the first Shazam, right?
Considering the budget that it had, they considered it a decent enough success to be somewhat profitable. I mean, it barely broke even, though, I will admit, yeah.
But as far as like reception, yeah, it was a hit, surprise hit, I guess.
Owen Gleiberman from Variety says, Fury of the Gods is one of those superhero sequels that goes through the paces, presenting us with a story that's meticulously convoluted and weightless, only to ratchet up the CGI as if that were the film's way of testifying to its major popcorn moviness. Plenty of comic book sequels do that, of course, but the first Shazam was a special case. It had a breezy, screw-loose charm that felt not so much superhuman as good old human. It somehow sidestepped the digitally tooled blockbuster cynicism, but Fury of the Gods falls right into it. The film isn't terrible, but it's busy, formulaic, and rather joyless.
Ooh.
Oomph.
Well, screw you then, Uproxx.
Yeah, we're not gonna read all of these, but man, they are quite the eye opener. So the critics, as we see, critics do not like Shazam.
I think critics are just being sticks in the mud, and for some reason have it up for comic book movies in general right now.
Unless you're Marvel, of course.
No,
No,
because
he's
not even
Marvel.
Marvel. Look at what happened to Ant-Man. Ant-Man just
They
got
soured on-
roasted.
they soured on
Yeah, you're right.
Marvel.
You're right.
I mean, let's be frank. In Phase 4, outside of like No Way Home, Shang-Chi, and Wakanda Forever, they've kind of soured on Marvel, whether Marvel deserves it or not.
But were those movies saved from the savagery of the critics because of certain political machinations from Marvel? What I'm saying is, basically, right, we have Shang-Chi, which is, they were touting it. This is the first headlined Asian character from Marvel. You can't really say anything bad about it. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is again the tribute to Chadwick Boseman. What, you don't like Chadwick Boseman? You didn't appreciate how great he was? Would you hate Chadwick because you hate black people having a superhero? Is that what it is?
Now I'll push back with the Shang-Chi comic because that actually was a well-written movie.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
I'm gonna push before you even get through your point, because as a fan of the Shang-Chi comic, I am so disappointed in that movie. The movie just takes the name and is like, all right, fuck all the comic lore, forget everything that's in the comic. We're just gonna it's just something totally different.
Okay, but as a movie, don't you think it's still well written? If you take the source material aside, isn't that still a well written movie?
It was a decent movie. There was points in it where I don't like Awkwafina. I didn't like that character. It fell flat for me. It's not funny.
Interesting, because like I'm one of those people that don't like Awkwafina at all, and this is like one of the few roles that I actually liked her in.
It did have good fight scenes. I'll give you that, Mr. Toker.
You know, it had great fight scenes. I thought the special effects work, like compared to like the other Phase 4 movies, was pretty top notch.
But I mean, I get it. If you being a Shang-Chi fan, I get the frustration. This is the same frustration I had with like stuff like Civil War and Iron Man 3. But
they literally get rid of one of the characters in the Shang-Chi comic is his half brother. It's an adopted brother from Africa that his father adopts because the father's going around, he's raiding a village in Africa, and he sees this baby, and the baby it gets like hit with like a piece of wood that's on fire, and the baby doesn't cry. It's like no response. And he's like, shit, this is a tough fucking kid. So he takes the kid back and he trains it in martial arts to have somebody who can go up against Shang-Chi to push him to be better. Then when there's the split, right, when Shang-Chi is like, hey, wait a minute, my dad's a fucking evil crime lord. The brother stays with the dad because he's so grateful for raising him and doing everything for him. And now he's like his number one assassin. And it turns out that he's actually a mute, and that's why the baby didn't make any noise. It wasn't that he was tough; it was that the baby literally couldn't cry.
Interesting, very interesting.
And then the character eventually gets killed, gets resurrected, comes back, goes into space, and he becomes like a space fucking ninja.
A space ninja.
Yeah, he fights the Silver Surfer with karate, and he's winning. Yeah, that's how fucking badass he is.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Well, the movie that I am seeing getting good reviews right now is John Wick Chapter 4.
Except for Grace Randolph, who absolutely hated the movie and said, "I'm going to give it a rotten," because apparently she thought that the ending was insulting or something.
Well, not just that.
Grace
He
Randolph.
said that the plot is very thin, and I didn't like how Donnie Yen was being utilized, and John Wick is barely in the movie. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, she said like, "Oh, I didn't come to see Donnie Yen. I came to see John Wick." I'm like, I guess I understand, but like, it's a 3-hour movie. You have a lot of time.
Well, also Grace Randolph, like she basically said without any shame that she liked Morbius and said, well, "You're being too harsh on this movie. Acting like the movie has feelings."
Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me that she liked.
She
Morbius.
did. She liked Morbius and gave it a good review.
She also cried over Wonder Woman 1984. So,
well, okay. To be fair, I'm not going to make fun of her for that because sometimes even some movies hit us differently emotionally. But she did give a positive review to that movie. So
yeah, that was even though I think the movie's bad, there was like 1 or 2 moments where it did have some emotional moments. So I'll give it that. But yeah, not giving it a fresh rating because of that. No. And she didn't like the Suicide Squad either, which I did not.
She didn't even give Peacemaker a chance. Like
she didn't even watch it. She said nope.
This is why she'll never get to 1 million subscribers.
You think so?
She will never get to
it.
All
right. So Sean says he didn't like Wakanda Forever. He only made it 15 minutes.
I mean, I didn't like Wakanda Forever either, but
I thought it was good.
Look at that. This is what Marvel took from you.
Yeah, this is what Marvel took from me. What you felt about Shang-Chi, that's what I felt about. Oh shit, that's crazy. All right.
Speaking of Silver Surfer, you guys hear that apparently Zack Snyder is saying that the rumors of a Silver Surfer project is true.
It better not just be a Disney Plus special.
I think they did say it's Disney Plus special presentation.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Disney Plus because that brings us to our next topic. Disney Plus removes Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 5 release windows, signaling big delay. There was a rumor before the Marvel Studios spoilers subreddit got taken down.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they were talking about that.
There was that rumor that everything was going to be delayed, pushed back. So it looks like it might have been true. We did go over them, I think, last week.
Yeah, it seems like most things, like pretty much everything's getting pushed back at least by a few months or even up to a year.
So what do you think? Do you think they're going to make big changes? This is a signal that Marvel has slowed down. They're going to reassess the situation, change some scripts.
That would be the smart thing to do. Now, will they actually do it? Well, we'll see what happens. See what happens.
Here's the other question, though. I mean, how much can they realistically change in such a short period of time?
A lot, because a lot hasn't really, like Blade, they haven't filmed anything, right? As far as I know.
I guess, but like once again, like all these projects now are so intertwined. Like you mess with the one project, what's going to happen to the other projects?
Agatha, have they even started filming for Agatha yet?
Yes, they're in the middle of filming it right now.
Oh, why are we getting that show? Why?
Supposedly it's going to set up.
See! Before you even say this, the first thing that came out of your mouth, because it's setting up.
But it is though. Show? Like, I'm not lying though. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, the show is.
You're right.
It's meant to be a sequel to WandaVision, just like Vision Quest, where we're going to continue seeing Agatha's character evolve. And it's also going to set up Billy to become Wiccan, like an adult or a teenage Wiccan, and it's also supposedly going to set up what happened to Wanda after.
How about it
Doctor
set up
Strange.
Billy? I thought they're dead.
No, Billy's already been cast. It's that actor from.
Okay, but I didn't answer the question. The question I said was, I thought he was dead.
No, it's a. Remember, apparently they're doing like the reincarnation thing or something. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know.
Okay, that makes no sense.
Well, listen, we'll figure it out.
Well, because
Figure it out. That's like
Figure it out.
because Wanda's
figure it
dead,
out. We're
right?
Marvel.
Right? Isn't
Wanda's
Wanda-
not dead. Wanda's gonna be back.
I know
Okay.
Wanda's not dead.
Let me rephrase. Wanda is supposed dead, right?
They think that she's dead. Yes.
Okay, she's the one who makes the deal with Mephisto to get her kids back. If she doesn't show up and the kids come back, it's like you're removing a step that's kind of necessary to why they come back. They can't just show up like, oh, we're back, and stuff happened that you don't know about. Right?
It's not the comics, man. They could change.
But even for this, things have to follow a logical progression, right?
I would say let's
Logical.
Just wait. I would
That's
say
funny.
let's just wait for a trailer or for the actual show. All I know is that supposedly Billy and what's the other kid's name?
Tommy.
Billy and Tommy. Yeah, they're going to be in it, and they're going to be actual teenagers, and they're going to explain how they became real. So I don't know. Because it's weird in the comics too. Because in the comics, like they have like a convoluted backstory for how Billy and Tommy came to be too. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, because they weren't real first. First, Mephisto's soul got separated into 5 chunks, and 2 of the chunks landed in Billy and Tommy, who were not real, didn't exist. And then they were absorbed by Master Pandemonium. But then it turned out that Master Pandemonium was just being used by Mephisto to gather his soul so he could come back. Which is weird that Mephisto has a soul because he's the devil.
That's what I'm saying, man. Comics are weird. Do you really think the Marvel Cinematic... Okay, well, to be fair, I forgot to. They did... Jeff Snyder also said today that supposedly the Mephisto Disney Plus special for Halloween is real.
Yeah, we're going to get to that too.
Okay, so maybe... Because maybe Agatha and Ironheart, as rumored, will introduce Mephisto. So maybe they will try and do sort of comic book accurate for Billy and Tommy with the whole Mephisto thing. I
just want it to make sense.
I don't think it's going to make sense.
Yeah,
it's so convoluted even in the comics. I don't know how they're going to make it make sense.
It says Disney are reportedly reevaluating the future releases of future projects. Not looking good. It says Echo. One of the first dominoes was What If Season 2, with it being officially delayed after its early 2023 tag was changed to Coming Soon.
That's what happens when you go woke.
Yeah, Hawkeye spinoff Echo also suffered a big delay. Showrunner Marion Dare noted that the show would debut in the latter part of this year after being slated for a summer release.
I could see Echo getting pushed to next year.
Yeah, Agatha Coven of Chaos was rumored to be released after Daredevil Born Again, which is likely sometime in 2025.
That's a long way for Agatha, by the way. 2 years from now? That's a long way.
Like, will anyone care at that point?
No. It's what, almost 3 years from the her original appearance?
Yeah, when did WandaVision
like 4 years since
WandaVision came out in 2021.
Oh, yeah.
Like the beginning of 2021, so...
I think it was like January or February 2021, yeah.
Yeah, nope. Nobody's going to care.
Or actually, no, it was March 2021. No, it was January. My bad. It's January.
Billy and Tommy from the Power Rangers? No. Billy and Tommy, Wiccan and Speed.
Yeah, Wiccan and Speedy.
Which are stupid names. And they're also Young Avengers.
Well, supposedly also, too, they're going to introduce Hulkling in the MCU so they can have him and Billy get together. So, like in the comics.
Oh.
But oh my God. That would make even less sense. They haven't even done Secret Invasion.
Well, they're about to do Secret Invasion, so maybe they introduce Hulkling there. Or, God forbid, if they do this, I'm going to be so pissed off. Remember Scar at the end of She-Hulk? What if they just merge both characters and make that Scar Hulkling in the MCU?
They could.
Oh my God, that'd be so bad. I would hate that so much.
Is Hulkling technically a gay character?
I mean,
because Skrulls can be anything, right?
Well, he's married to Billy, so I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like.
Well, he takes on a male form, so I mean,
Oh boy.
I don't know.
It's male presenting.
Listen, I don't know.
Ex people, don't be sexist. Yeah. They actually were talking about changing it to ex people at one point.
No, weren't they changing it to the mutants? They just were going to call them the mutants.
No, the comic book was changing to ex people at one point.
Listen, Marvel editorial is full of some very dumb people. I don't know if anyone's keeping up with what's going on with the modern day Peter Parker Spider-Man comics, but it is so bad. It makes me want to like.
What's so bad about it?
He says he loves Mary Jane like a sister now.
Yeah, they're trying to like. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
What?
Yeah, like they're okay. So Nick, Tony, if we talk about this, we're gonna get so off track.
Just you could speak through this TLDR.
TLDR. Basically, they don't know what to do post One More Day in regards to Peter Parker's character and his relationship with Mary Jane. Nick Spencer was trying to set up that eventually they're going to get back together, but these new writers came in, and now it's like Mary Jane is now dating some guy named, I think, what was his, Paul or Chad? I don't remember what his name is. And now there's like 2 kids that Mary Jane is taking care of, and now Peter Parker is like being written super out of character to where now he's working for Norman Osborn and becoming like a spider Green Goblin, where he has his own glider like the Green Goblin.
What the fuck?
And they're trying to set up Peter Parker and Black Cat as the new couple for the status quo.
Actually,
and Peter
I'm not
Parker
mad at that.
now saying that, now Peter Parker's stalking Mary Jane, or the other superheroes are calling him out as a weirdo. And then Peter Parker is also apparently like, now he's saying that Mary Jane is only like a sister to him. And now apparently they're setting something up where Peter Parker did something so bad that he like killed a bunch of people and probably did something so horrible that's like the most unforgivable crime in the history of the Marvel Universe or something. It's really bad. It's so bad.
Is it him?
Hell.
Hold on. Because I know they brought back Ben Reilly in other.
Yeah,
clones.
they brought him back and then they turned him evil.
Yeah,
because they literally like Peter Parker. There's like, you suck, dude. All right, throw your Nevada chemicals. Now you're one of my main villains now.
No, but what I'm saying is like if Peter did a bunch of bad things, are we sure they're not just going to be like, "Ha, tricked you"? Was actually a clone.
Well, here's the other thing, right? Here's something really funny. In the first issue, remember those kids I told you about?
Yeah.
Okay, they gave him a specific name, right? In the latest issue that just came out, they forgot the kid's name and they just changed it. I kid you not. In the issue, they completely changed the name because they forgot the name. So they just called her something else. Even though they've been calling it. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like, literally, Peter Parker has been such a... Like, okay, TLDR for me, too, is Spider-Man is supposed to be Marvel Comics' flagship character, and he's being treated like absolute garbage. It is so disappointing. They need to just completely...
Are you saying that they're emasculating?
It's not even demasculating. They're ruining the character. Like, he's not even being written properly. Like, he's so off character at this point. He's not even recognizable.
Are you saying that they've taken another strong white male role model and they've totally trashed him and cucked him?
Sure. Well, what's really sad though? No. The Peter Parker comics are like absolutely garbage right now. But Miles Morales, his comics are great right now.
Do you think they're doing that on purpose? They're making the Peter comic shitty so Miles Morales gets more attention so that he becomes the main Spider-Man?
At this point, I'm fine with that because Peter Parker's...
That's not the question I asked.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I hate when people do that shit. It's very annoying. When I ask a question, it's a very specific question, and then they answer something that I didn't fucking ask. It's very annoying.
Well, I apologize, but...
Well, if he said verbatim yes or no, then people think, oh, so that means blah, blah, blah. So that's why they have to put a caveat to it.
No, you can caveat all you want, but it was like... It's like if I say, hey, is it raining outside? And you're like, cars with tops on them are a lot better.
If you want me to be honest, I think that there could be a bit of an agenda behind it.
That's
I
all
don't
I was
know.
asking.
Though. I don't know.
I haven't read a comic since like 2000. To be fair, it's because he's white, isn't it?
Well,
Is.
I think it's also Marvel editorial. I think the issue is that they don't want Peter Parker to like grow as a character. They literally want him to be single. They want him to like be struggling all the time. Even though like some of the best Spider-Man comics recently of like the modern era was when J. Michael Straczynski was writing him, and he was a successful teacher. He was a professor. He had a successful marriage with Mary Jane. He was actually a career person. They don't want Spider-Man to evolve. They want him to stay where he was when people recognized him as like this geeky teenager. It doesn't work anymore.
The
Do
thing
you think
is,
that's
like,
the fault of the movies? Go ahead.
the thing is for me, like some of my first Spider-Man comics was when he was married to Mary Jane, like comics from like the late '80s, early '90s, like. So it's like you can't just forget like a whole era where no one had a problem with him being married.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they thought, you know what, him being married, it doesn't make him relatable to the audience, so we're just gonna get rid of it.
Also, like my main problem with like the '90s comics was just the Clone Saga. Like that was just a shit fest. But like outside of that, like I had no problem with those like '90s comics. Like I don't know why they had to like get rid of his marriage and all that. Like that was a mistake that's been made since what, like 2007, 2008 when that happened. Like around
Yeah,
then?
it was like it was like right after Civil War, because literally what happened in One More Day is that so after Civil War, when his identity got outed, the Kingpin basically ordered a hit on Spider-Man, but the assassin shot Aunt May. So Aunt May was dying, this 90-year-old woman, and Peter Parker was like, I can't let go of Aunt May, who's already 90 years old and is probably going to die any year now. Let me just say, I'm sorry, Mary Jane, but I'm going to sell our marriage to the devil, to Mephisto.
Well, that even didn't make any sense either, because Mephisto, the devil, says he's willing to bring back and save Aunt May's life because Spider-Man's marriage is so egregious to him. Right, just looking at it makes him his eyes.
Yeah,
hurt.
supposedly
so
like something about
nice.
it like makes him upset.
It's because it's so pure. It was so pure and special that he had to get rid of it.
Recently Nick Spencer set up in the comics, which I thought was a really good retcon to make One More Day make a little more sense, is that supposedly Mephisto, because I think he talks to Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange fights him, and Doctor Strange sees a vision from Mephisto or something, where basically Mephisto found out that when he tries to take over Earth and there's hell on Earth, way in the future, one of the only remaining heroes who's going to oppose him that could stop him is
Mary Jane.
Is Spider-Girl, the daughter of Peter and Mary Jane. So Nick Spencer basically wrote that the reason Mephisto even tried doing that whole thing was to try and manipulate Peter into giving up his marriage to prevent that Spider-Girl from being born.
Oh.
But he was setting up that eventually something would happen to where she'd be born no matter what. That Peter Parker and Mary Jane would have that child. So he was trying to set up that they would get back together and their marriage would be restored, and Mephisto would ultimately lose.
Or maybe they're going to tell you that she's actually never been Spider-Man's kid, and Mary Jane's a dirty hussy who's out there sleeping around with every spider-powered person.
Oh, I wouldn't even be surprised at this point.
Well, I mean, they literally took Gwen Stacy and were like, hey, you remember that Gwen Stacy character that everyone loved? She was an innocent schoolgirl, Peter Parker's high school girlfriend, love of his life, the actual true woman that he always wanted to be with. She fucked Norman Osborn.
Yeah, that to me, I feel like was the beginning of the end.
They recently retconned that too. Nick Spencer retconned that. You know what
again?
Yes, they retconned that
again, but because they already retconned it out of existence because it happened, and then they retconned it that it didn't happen. But now they're retconning it again.
So they recently retconned it that it did happen, but Norman Osborn actually had sex with an illusion from Mysterio. It wasn't the real Gwen Stacy. It was an illusion that Mysterio used against Norman Osborn.
Was Mysterio the one that he was sleeping with?
They
just pretended
they
to make himself look like
that. They didn't explain that.
Well, but didn't she literally have a baby?
No,
was that an illusion?
No, the baby I don't think was real. None of it was real. It was all Mysterio.
The Spider-Man comics have become so fucked up.
Okay, because but the American Son existed.
Yeah, well, they brought back the kids in the Nick Spencer run. They brought back the Osborn kids, and they killed them off or did something with them. I don't remember. It was a while ago.
Yeah, like basically, just like looking back at it with like that one more day thing, the MCU and the PS4 game had the guts to do what Marvel did not have. Comics did not have the guts to do: kill off Aunt May and let the
Spoiler.
character grow.
Spoiler for a game that's been out for a long time. That was actually one of the only games that touched me. A little tear came down when Aunt May's like, "Let me die, let me die. It's okay."
Like
It's
to me,
like,
that's what should
no.
have just happened in the first place. Just let the character grow. Like,
You know what it is? I think it's just a lack of respect for the audience that's reading the books. They don't think that they're mature enough to handle characters evolving.
No, you know what I think it is, and I'm going to be brutally honest in my assessment of the situation. The movies fucked it all up. Okay, see, the movies brought in a new audience for Spider-Man because at the end of the Tobey Maguire era, which was 2007, Spider-Man had not grown up yet. Spider-Man was still he didn't marry Mary Jane. There was no marriage. He was still more or less a kid, even though he was going to like college, right? New fans who are now getting into the comics are going, wait a minute, this is different. And in order to cater to these people that they thought that were going to come from the movies to become comic book fans, they decided, hey, we're going to reset it back to what they're familiar with. You know, we made all this money from the normies. The normies are going to start reading comics. It's going to be a bigger audience, so we'll reset it so that they can all follow along. And that never happened because the normies never went to the comics because that was never going to happen. And then the people who were reading it like, this is bullshit. What are you doing? You fucked over our character. And now they've been scrambling to try to fix it. But they don't know what to do because they want to relate it to teens because they've lost their older audience, so they're not reading it. And they want to relate it to teens, but teens don't read fucking comic books. And now they're like, what do? We can't stop making the comics because we got to make movies because we got to keep the copyright.
They fail to acknowledge that these teenagers that do read comics eventually grow up into adults and will still read comics.
Blasphemy.
Blinded said Aunt
Like-
May dying was one of the biggest plot contrivances.
Oh, come on, Blinded, really?
It was, but it still was a sad moment. It could be both.
It was executed so well, though.
It's kind of like if you look at it, like, you know, like Peter doing the responsible thing by letting her die to save like millions of lives. Like, to me, that was like the ultimate sacrifice that he had to make for himself.
Yeah, but I think excuse me, one of the things that makes the scene less powerful, right? It's powerful in the moment, but when you take the whole story as a whole, because a couple of minutes later, you're like, "No, Doc Ock, you're also dying." Spoiler. And it's like the same scene just repeated, but with Doc Ock instead of Aunt May.
Well, it was more so about Peter being like, I trusted you and I looked up to you, and this is what you become.
Yeah, but
You
what
know?
I'm saying is that you have two big dramatic death scenes, almost back to back.
And has not happened before in other Spider-Man media.
No one said it hasn't. I just said it makes the first one lose some of its oomph. You know, if it was stretched out more, if there was more space between the two, where you see Spider-Man and then he has like he's kind of in the slump because of Aunt May's dead and he's trying to work through this, and then the stuff happens. But it was just kind of like dead. You're like, oh, because there isn't much left of the story after she dies, right? Like if you're actually playing the game, not just like swinging around the city. If you're actually going through the game, playing it, it's like boom, boom.
Well,
Anyway,
how did we get on this? I forget.
Because I was ranting about the state of the modern Marvel comics. So that's on me. I told you.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the state of the MCU. They need to get their shit together. I don't know.
As long as it's an interesting conversation and related to geek media, we can go off on tangents. It's fine. But back on track. Loki season 2, initially slated to premiere this summer, it's now coming soon. Which is what'd you say?
I said K.
Oh, I think you said gay. I was like, what?
Whoa, I was like,
We
whoa.
don't make that joke anymore in 2023.
No, I don't use those words in that type of way.
Yeah. But this is probably the biggest red flag as far as the direction of the MCU for me, because the Ant-Man post-credit scene, spoiler, is directly a scene from Loki season 2. It's not like a bonus scene. It's not like they literally said, no, we just took a scene from the season and slapped it into the movie, right?
What's really funny and kind of sad? That post-credit scene that's for Loki season 2 is probably the best part of the whole movie.
Honestly,
Hot take.
Honestly, you're not wrong.
Boom. This right here, I don't see how this should be moved or is going to be moved. They're predicting that it could still be moved, but I don't see it's an animated show. It has nothing to do with the MCU.
I think it'll be fine. I think they'll keep it where it's at.
Ironheart, whose suit looks terrible.
This could get delayed to next year for VFX reasons.
It should get delayed indefinitely. I thought the suit was so ridiculous looking.
I like the suit.
It doesn't look. It has this like almost plasticky look. It's like bulky.
What do you mean plastically look?
Like the VFX, it didn't look like metal. It looked more like plastic.
Is it really just like that or like the colors they decided to use?
Maybe the colors is what's making it have that look. It's the shine they put on it as far as the reflections and stuff.
And as I said, I don't like Wakanda Forever, but just like I didn't mind her suit. I thought it was fine. It's whatever. And I actually liked her in the movie too.
Yeah, I didn't think she was bad in the movie.
Yeah. But maybe they'll make the suit better in the show. Maybe they'll have a different version of the suit.
I just think that they showed a different version of the suit in the little preview or whatever it was, like teaser they did for it.
Oh, they did? Oh.
Yeah. Because it's not, remember, they confiscate the suit that she has in Wakanda Forever. They took it.
Well, thank God for people that didn't like it.
Because look, it almost looks like a heart. That's the other thing. Like
yeah, it had a heart on the center. Yeah.
No, that's just the center. Like the.
I mean, I don't know what it looked like in the promo thing you're talking about. But...
No, but I'm talking about look at the little fins or whatever the hell these are. They kind of make a heart shape. Like the whole upper torso is a heart.
Oh, I didn't put that together. Look at that.
Yeah. Ironheart already wrapped production, but this new update could mean that it will be part of the delays, which it potentially eyeing an early 2024 premiere instead of its fall 2023 timeline. I don't see how, if this has no connection to anything else and it's already done, why not just run this earlier, right?
I think that they're incorrect. I do think it's going to connect to something.
Yeah, because everything has to connect.
Well, everything has to connect. And let's be fair here. I'm not trying to be disparaging, but considering Ironheart's a brand new character that only had basically a supporting role in Black Panther 2, I think it needs to connect to something to get everyone on board to actually watch it week to week. So I think it's probably going to set something up. It'll probably set up Armor Wars, and supposedly Mephisto will appear. I don't know, though. So we'll see.
Mr. Toker says, can someone explain how the show like Superman and Lois on the CW has a better VFX team than Disney Plus's? Seems like it should be reversed.
Well, it depends.
You would think so.
What show are we talking about, though? 'Cause some shows on Disney Plus do have very good visual effects. Not all of them, I will admit. Not all of them, but some of them do.
Please give me two or three.
I would say, Andor and Mandalorian, I think, have good visual effects.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Marvel.
But we're talking about Marvel. Yeah. I thought WandaVision had some nice visual effects. I think Loki had some nice visual effects. And I think Falcon Winter Soldier had nice visual effects.
Okay, actually, you got me there. There you go. You got me there.
Well, I think the reason for that is the CW show is on regular TV. They're going to get ad revenue and stuff. Also, if you remember, when WB owned it, the CW was getting money from WB to put the shows on. It was like some really convoluted contract, so they could put more money into the shows. Whereas Disney Plus is like, we got your money. Here's the crap, eat it. Like you don't like it? Too bad.
I think the less you give a product money wise, the harder they try. That always seems to be the case.
Toker says, "Be nice." Someone was probably really proud of that heart shaped design. Probably was. Aaron says Gotham Knights was a horrible the show.
I mean, I hear both. I hear both the game and the show's not good, but I guess the show's worse. I don't know.
All right. So Daredevil Born Again is in the midst of filming in New York, which is expected to be an ongoing production for a good chunk of the year. While it's set to premiere in the spring 2024, a delay could push it to 2025. Spider-Man freshman year, another animated property that really shouldn't have any effect on anything. Secret Invasion, which again, I don't even know how this is going to fucking work. I'm so like, I love the MCU and I love most of the things they do, but it's like you established that they were good guys, or at the very least, space refugees, right? They're space Mexicans fleeing the border of the evil Kree Empire who was trying to build a space ball. And now they're going to be bad guys for some reason?
Well, maybe there's different species of Skrull that are bad.
You're supposed to say different species of space Mexicans. Come on, keep the theme.
No, I will not.
Maybe there's space Argentinians.
No, I will not contribute to this at all.
No, but I mean that is how they framed it. They're like, look at they're these poor immigrant people. RJ's left. He says he's got to leave. He only wanted to defend Jenna Ortega, and now he's got to go. No, I mean they framed them as like this completely innocent, race of people that just wanted to live their lives and they didn't have a bad bone in their body and they were being hunted and persecuted wrongfully, right? And it's going to be really hard to do a 180 and that be like, well, actually.
Well, as I said, maybe there's some what am I trying to say? Maybe there's some other like Skrulls that are evil. Maybe some of them are good and some of them are evil. I don't know. That's my guess.
I'm sure that's what they're going to go with. They're going to be like, oh, there's actually a faction of Skrulls that are evil. But then you still go like, why are they attacking Earth? Like, of all the like, in the comics, it makes sense because the Skrulls and the Kree, part of the war is Earth. Earth is considered in both territory, right? Both are trying to claim the Earth as part of their empire. Mm-hmm. Whereas this one, there's no empire, right? So there's no reason for the Skrulls to come to Earth to be bad. On top of the fact that Captain Marvel, who is from Earth, literally saved the Skrulls and defeated most of the Kree Empire, put them at least on the back heel, right? You would think they would be invading the Hala, right? Like, oh, let's go in. The Kree are weak, so let's go fuck the Kree up, right? The ones that oppressed us. No, we're going to go to Earth instead.
Yeah. I don't know. I only saw the trailer for Secret Invasion once, so I don't remember exactly what happened. But like maybe the villain will still end up being the Kree, but like maybe like there's other evil Skrulls, maybe an obstacle at first. I don't know. I don't know.
Because I mean, the Earth and the MCU, we don't really have a big space presence like we do in the comics, right? There's not like
not yet.
So it's like again, it's a weird like why are they coming? Like if the only reason they're coming is to get Tony Stark's armor, right? Because that's
I swear to God, if that is the plot, I swear to God, no.
I mean, isn't that like the plot for Armor Wars?
Yeah, but supposedly the one is going to lead into the other, isn't it?
Oh my goodness,
God!
Because they show Rhodey in the preview for
true. Like I mean, like yeah, I know Rhodey's in it.
So it might be that they come steal it, and that's what causes the armor to get into the wild because of the Kree or because of the Skrull fucking around.
Maybe.
But anyway, Secret Invasion is currently slated for a spring 2023 release, and have some theorized that it will be Marvel's first Disney Plus show to premiere this year, potentially after The Mandalorian Season 3's current run, which isn't doing too well with critics.
Apparently not.
After some have pointed out that Phase 5 is off to a bad start with Ant-Man 3's negative reviews, Marvel Studios hosted delays might end up being a good thing due to the overwhelming number of content from Phase 5. Do you think delays are a good thing?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Sometimes they need delays to make sure that the product is better, so they don't rush things, or there may be a delay because something didn't work very well previously, so we got to reshuffle some things and retool some things. Uh, in this case, I think it's the latter. Um, I think after Quantum Mania, like they're probably like, I mean, they're probably not panicking, but it's probably like a yellow flag going off right now. Be like, okay, we might need to like retool some things here and there. I guess there's too much products that we're throwing at the audience. Maybe we need to like tone it down a bit and focus on some things. Get some better writers, please. Stop getting Rick and Morty writers. I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but I don't know. I don't know. The ones I'm concerned about the most, Secret Invasion. I'll be honest. That and Agatha, like I really could care less. I'll be really honest. Even Armor Wars, like I know that they're making it a movie now, which I guess they have more confidence in it. But even then, I'm like, we'll see what happens. But with the ones I'm really concerned about is Daredevil. Daredevil need to get right. So if they need to push it back to 2025, please do that. Make sure that the writing's tight. Like I'm not expecting it to like be as great as the Netflix show because I'm convinced that we'll never get the quality of the Netflix show ever again, no matter how hard they try. But please, at least that needs to be great. Same thing with Fantastic Four. Whenever we get there, that needs to hit as well. And even Blade to an extent. I'll say that needs to be good too. And I don't know why they would feel the need to have that connected to a whole bunch of other things that should be standalone for the most part. But like you see, that's causing a domino effect with other movies. So I'm like, what's going on with that? So I don't even know. I don't know.
I'm gonna agree. I think like delays can be good and bad. It just depends like how much they're gonna use the time. So like if they're smart with how much time they use in between projects, then they can still get some really good projects. To me, the projects that I think people are gonna keep a close eye on are gonna be Daredevil, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool. To me, I feel like those are gonna be the three that people are gonna keep close eyes on. Like I don't think people will make a big deal if like Thunderbolts is good or bad. I mean, if it's good, then people will be pleasantly surprised. But same thing goes for like Ironheart. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, I don't think people are going to be that concerned. I think.
Oh, the usual suspects are going to be playing.
Oh, I know, but I feel like for like the general audience, I think like the main focus is going to be, I think, on like the characters that are more household names, and if they can't get those right, then Marvel's going to have a lot of problems.
All right, we gotta look over this real quick. The Marvel Studios' next Disney Plus special might have been revealed. It's a rumor. And we talked about this when we did the leaks, so we won't go too far into it. But this has been rumored for a while that Sacha Baron Cohen was going to play Mephisto. It says above the lines, Jeff Schneider claimed on the Hot Mic podcast that a Marvel Studios special presentation centered around Mephisto is shooting right now on the set of Agatha Coven of Chaos with Sacha Baron Cohen portraying the titular villain. Deadline previously reported that Cohen is portraying Marvel's extra-dimensional demon first on Ironheart, with other rumors pointing toward a return in Agatha. However, with the potential delays across MCU Phase 5, it's unknown when fans can expect to see the Dictator's actor take on an MCU villain. Do you think that they would do a Mephisto Disney Plus special?
No.
Yeah, I don't see it either because unless the only way, because if you really watch Werewolf by Night, I would say it's half a Werewolf by Night special and it's a half Elsa Bloodstone special, right?
Yeah, I see that.
So if they do a Mephisto special, I could see it being like Mephisto the headline, but it actually being, say, a Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider special. Like Mephisto's in there, they show him, he does the thing, he gets the demon, he makes the deal, turns him into Ghost Rider, and sets off that whole storyline. That's the only thing I can see because really, there's nothing to him except for I'm the devil and I make devil deals in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, me personally, I'm just like maybe it's just like the fandom that got on my nerves when it comes to the Mephisto, but I'm just tired of hearing about Mephisto. I'm really tired of it.
Same. It's become like the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's saying, "Oh, Mephisto's gonna be in WandaVision. He's gonna create this." Oh, nope, that doesn't end up happening. Oh, Mephisto's gonna be in Loki. Oh, check it out, look it out. Nope, not there either. Oh, look, Mephisto's gonna be in Doctor Strange. Look, cause the comics did this. He's gonna. Nope, not there either. Oh, Spider-Man, for real this time. Mephisto does this in the comics, so that's gonna happen in the movie. Mephisto's gonna be here. Nope, not there either.
What if? What if they go really old school? Because I don't know if you're aware of this, but a long time ago in Marvel Comics, Satan, he appeared in a lot of comics, the devil, right? And originally Ghost Rider had made a deal with the devil, but then it was retconned that it was Mephisto, right? And so a lot of early portrayals of Satan became Mephisto. Anytime the devil showed up, it was actually Mephisto, Lucifer, and various other things. Some appearances of Lucifer have actually been retconned to be Loki, which is weird. Mm-hmm. But they're select. But the point I'm trying to make is, what if they turned around and showed, like, did a Mephisto special, and they show you like a bunch of people from like those movies, like, hey, remember in WandaVision that character there, the Boner, Ralph Boner, is actually Mephisto. You remember the helpful character in Multiverse of Madness, the one selling the vendor, Mephisto. Remember that other character for the other bit? Like, if they just did that, would you be pissed?
So this reminds me of when after Spider-Man Far From Home, that Nick Fury wasn't Nick Fury, it was actually a Skrull, and like the other characters that were following before Far From Home were Skrulls, and I was questioning everything in life at that point. So I don't know how I feel about that. To be honest, it really just depends where that's going to go from there. But
what if they turn Stan Lee into Mephisto?
Okay, now they're too far.
Oh my goodness.
Too freaking far.
Like, he's always been, because like, remember, he's not the Watcher. They've established that Stan Lee's character was not the Watcher, right? But he was somebody that was watching all the major events. That the whoever the Stan Lee character is, right? He was going through all the movies. He was watching all the major events. And then Stanley unfortunately passed, and the character just disappeared. But we showed him talking to the Watchers. So, what if they show the Stan Lee character and then like flames engulf him, and he's like, it was actually Mephisto the whole time?
I think you're gonna have a lot of people upset, but I mean,
I don't think they would. I think Stan Lee would have loved it. They would connect his character.
Do you think Stan Lee would have loved that he was Mephisto throughout all those movies?
Yeah.
Well, he had a sense of humor, so I think he would have taken it well.
He would have took it with stride. I mean, he understands that the character, like, because the character has to go on, right? Like, you're just gonna like dump this character like into nothing. Versus, we're gonna take this character now, stretch it across, and say, hey, it was actually Mephisto keeping track on everything this whole time.
I mean, okay. From a story perspective, I could see how they could make that work. But like, no, I guess it would just like kind of ruin the novelty of Stan Lee appearing in all the Marvel films. Just like, I don't know. But if they decide to do that, I'll be upset first. But like, I guess I'll go along with it and see how it fits in the story, I guess. I didn't think too hard about the Stan Lee cameras. I don't think a lot of people cared about the
They did at first, because when he first showed up, like the first one, it was just like, it's just the Stan Lee, like, haha, right? But he kept showing up, and then people were like, well, he's the Watcher. It's going to be the Watcher. But then they showed him talking to the Watchers in, I think it was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I mean, okay, are people really thinking about this now because it's a cinematic universe? Because he appeared in a bunch of other Marvel stuff before the MCU. So are they really just saying that because it's in the MCU?
Probably. But I mean, Mephisto can travel through dimensions, so they because
Oh,
there's only one. Remember,
yeah.
he's literally the devil. There's only one devil that goes through all the multiverse.
I guess. God, I'm sick of Mephisto, bro. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense what you're saying, though. So
I think it would be interesting. I think it'd be funny. If fans have a sense of humor, they'd go with it. I think Stan Lee would have went with it. I mean, as he got older, if he was still alive, but he was like unable to continue making cameos, and they said, "Hey, what if we did this thing?" And it turns out your character is actually Mephisto. He'd probably love it because, like I said, that keeps his character alive, even though he's gone. Because the characters are now the same, it keeps the character alive. Technically.
Does that mean they would continue to do deep fakes of him?
They could, then they could, right? And even if the deep fake was off, you're like, oh, that's because it's a Mephisto, right? He's pretending to be Stanley.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And then maybe people won't be so mad when they do deep fakes.
You still have some of those people will be a bit upset, but I guess from a story perspective, like, oh, the CGI looks bad because Mephisto. Oh god!
All right. Speaking of CGI and looking bad, here is some early concept art for KAng.
Oh lord, that is bad.
Yeah. Some people said it looked more sinister. I think his head looks really tiny for some reason, like his jawbone. Supposedly, it says this was done prior to Jonathan Majors being casted as KAng in
obviously, because that's not a blackface in there.
But here's what I'm saying. I don't believe this, right? I don't believe this. Because this concept art would have had to been done way before Loki. Because in Loki, it's very clear this is fucking KAng, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like once Loki came out, that was it. Like Jonathan Majors was already casted. Even if the movie hadn't came out, there was no official casting at the time for Ant-Man 3, right? Once Loki was like, boom, he's KAng. That was it. That was the end of it.
Well, unless it was made before his appearance in Loki, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting look. It's not exactly comic accurate. I think the version that they went with was a lot better.
Yeah. That's it. That's interesting, though.
Any thoughts, George?
Yeah, I'm not crazy about this design. I think the design we did get in the film was fine. I don't know. It just looks very. I know because of the art, but it just looks very cartoony. Like I know it's because of the art, but I feel like this will just look goofy in live action.
Yeah,
that's fair. But that was the concept art. All right, we got to talk about one more thing. It's something that I'm kind of avoiding talking about. And
what we got?
It is the title of the video.
The man himself.
We're gonna light up our Zack pipes and get a big hit of Zack.
Ooh.
So Zack Snyder puts out this tweet. Damn it! I don't want all that audio. Jesus Christ.
April 28th, 29th, and 30th. Save a date.
Okay, first off, Zack, it would have been save the dates. Okay. I know I'm a grammar Nazi, but you gave 3 dates, and then you said save the date as if it was 1.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
You're a guy who directs films, writes. This does not fill me with confidence in your abilities if you cannot get a simple grammar thing like save the dates correct. Beyond that, he says hashtag full circle. People are talking about Snyder's Con or Snyder Con. Sorry, not Snyder's Con.
You just mocked him about his spelling.
No, actually, it was more of me mocking Snyder's Con because all of this has been a big con from Zack Snyder.
See what he did there.
Yeah, come on now. We know they're not selling it to Netflix. They're not restoring the Snyderverse. Just him having Darkseid there and like doing this whole thing. It's like, come on, man, stop it. Get some help. Just fucking come out and say, look, hey, we're gonna show the 3 movies, right? We're gonna show the fucking Justice League, BVS, and Man of Steel. We're gonna have special little like fan gathering and watch 3 movies and celebrate it and fucking get my dick stroked.
Well, that doesn't sound as exciting.
What's up, Aaron?
What's up? You like my avatar?
I can't see it.
It's John Campia basically
Oh,
being like, "How do you do, fellow kids?"
He actually He actually saw the movie dressed as this.
Oh my!
He went in full fan gear.
Mhm.
So what do you think about this, Aaron? You popped in just in time to talk Zack Snyder.
It's probably Rebel Moon stuff. That's it.
But then why would he have the whole? I know because he's crazy, but indulge me. But why would he have?
Because you know what? Like my friend Degrassi says, or buddy Degrassi, and a lot of people think Zack Snyder is a troll. He takes a troll. He likes to tease. He loves it.
I agree with that. He does like to troll and tease, but I mean, is this a step too far? Like, come on, man.
I mean, if what you're saying is true, that like he's going to show his three DC movies,
The Snyder.
what's the best way to tease that?
Here's the thing, guys.
DL.
Netflix just canceled a movie that was going to make was a $130 to $150 million budget rom-com movie, a comedy-basic movie with ScarJo and Michael Fassbender, Owen Wilson. They're not going to spend $250 million on DC. They're not going to do that.
Yeah. Finbar says, who's betting on him launching some sort of NFTs?
Oh my god.
Snyderverse NFTs.
Oh my goodness. People are going to send for that.
Listen, if you buy these NFTs, he can use that money to buy Justice League from DC.
No.
We have to buy Snyderverse NFTs.
No. Oh man. That's going to be a thing that people actually will believe. Sell Justice League NFTs.
So. But yeah, so like this is the part that like really like
maybe he's teasing a trailer for Rebel Moon. I don't know. Maybe
it's going full circle.
Maybe a teaser trailer. I don't know.
Or they're just going to talk about his DC movies. That's why he has.
And here's the thing. Remember this. Remember. Everything the 2D. If the people in the Snyderverse think they're going to get the 2 Justice League movies, guess who has to sign off it first? The people they hate. That's in charge.
Well, Watch Mojo says, me using this to explain how completing the Snyderverse is still possible.
Yeah. Gunn has to. Gunn and Safran have to sign off it. Business 101, guys.
Also, I think Ray Porter has a role in Rebel Moon along with Ray Fisher. So
yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
So
it really comes as no surprise.
Reliable source from a good friend of the show says, reliable source for the past told me that this will be a convention Zack Snyder's planning to celebrate his work and announce officially a moving on from DC official. I was told that James Gunn talked to him and he agreed he'd help back down for the sake of this new phase.
Are you going to believe Eddie Signor?
No.
He's a good friend of the show.
Eddie Signor been shitting on the Snyderverse from day one?
Yes.
I believe so.
Like,
yeah, like remember when he was Public Enemy #1 and not like Matt Jarbo and all these other YouTubers? Like, Eddie Signor was Public Enemy #1 to the Snyder fans at one point.
Yeah. But we got people doing. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, these people are like still restore the Snyderverse. They're clutching onto it. It's gonna happen.
But they don't understand that the Antichrist to them is James Gunn is in charge. They don't understand that, Tony. They're stupid. They're not logical.
But don't
Tony,
you understand? Zack Snyder convinced James Gunn
Tony,
to bring back.
Tony, what's you know? We all know what stands are. Crazy fans, right? Crazy obsessed fans.
Yeah.
What in the wrestling world we call them marks, right? They think they know.
I don't know. A lot of people getting excited.
And then they're gonna get their hopes crushed.
Yeah, sorry, nothing's gonna happen at this con. It's really nothing. They're expecting. Oh, we're gonna.
Oh, look at it! Look at that! It's happening. The Omega Rays is making an end. It's Netflix.
That's cute. That's very cute.
It's a pretty good drawing. I like it.
You know what's funny? You know what's ironic? You know that movie that Netflix canceled, that ScarJo and all that, Michael Fassbender? Guess who might be buying it?
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
You know, I'm waiting for the theories to say Warner Brothers
they're
gonna make a trade.
They are. Look at
The
it.
Snyderverse or the Rom-Com.
The bat symbol is a circle. It's a full circle. This means the Snyderverse is being restored.
Oh my god.
100%. Full circle means he's going back to where it started, which is DC, because he's taking over. Because James Gunn and Peter Safran failed with Shazam, they brought in Zack.
They failed with Shazam, even though they had nothing to do with that project.
It's like the thing is like they're like every time this fan base seems like it's cooling down, something happens where it's like like today, like also don't forget, like today, like Ben Affleck announced he's not directing anything for Gunn, so it's like they're taking that as another victory lap. Like they're taking yesterday's video and today's news about Affleck as like what the heck?
That's Rock Snyder. It's Dwayne the Rock Snyder.
Oh my! But they're
That's actually
taking
pretty funny.
like the stuff as like a victory lap. Like yes, we're winning.
Oh, is my mic? My mic does sound.
No, you're good.
Is my
No,
mic?
you're good. It's George that sounds like a robot, kind of.
Oh
Yeah.
my! This mic of mine.
He was good. George was bad. Then he got good. Then he went back bad.
Oh my!
There it is. It's coming back.
boy.
Maybe Zack Snyder convinced WB to license Darkseid for Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon's villain is actually Darkseid.
Oh man!
Not how that works. It's not how that works.
Jiggle your mic cords or something.
Chico.
Jiggle your okay.
All right.
Just flick it a little bit.
They honestly think it's a separate IP because Zack's name is in the title. Exactly. It's Zack Snyder's Justice League. He owns it.
They think
No.
Zack
He
owns
owns
every-
Batman and Superman. He owns all those characters.
Speaking of Batman, real quick, James Gunn shot down the idea that Batman could not appear on TV.
Yeah.
He said, no,
That's
that's not true. But also, Ben Affleck shot down the idea that he's going to direct anything for James Gunn.
They just talk. He didn't. But the thing was, a couple months ago, he said they just talked. They just talked. He didn't say he was going to direct something. Possibly direct something. Possibly. Keyword possibly. I mean, it looks like now, no, he's not going to. So there was nothing there. It was just a possible. It was just possibly.
Well, actually, I will bring up the tweet because you're giving James Gunn a little too much leeway.
Yes, I am.
So they announced the things, and someone said, "Could Ben Affleck direct?" And James Gunn said, "Met with Ben yesterday, precisely because he wants to direct, and we want him to direct. We just have to find the right project." Now,
Maybe
I think this is the key.
there.
There is nothing there, but I think this is the key, right? Because he wants to direct, we know that's true. Ben Affleck wants to direct things. They want him to direct things. That's also true. We just have to find the right project. By him replying, though, to someone asking specifically about Batman, the Brave and the Bold, he's making the connection. James Gunn is the one who's making the connection. James Gunn didn't say, met with Ben yesterday about other projects besides Batman, right?
Yeah.
So he's lumping Batman in there. So you have the association, oh, he's talking about Batman. He didn't say it. but he is trying to make that connection to you, that he's implying that Batman was in that discussion.
And I guess it fell through.
Yeah,
Here's
I don't think.
Hey, Tony, the Snyderverse fans they're all celebrating this. But did the people read that article? Ben Affleck says he's down with the superhero genre.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think this had anything to do with
No.
I think WB wants Ben Affleck because he's a good director. And they're like, hey, let's find something to work together.
He's directed great stuff with them.
Yeah, so they probably were
He
like,
won
hey,
him an Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying WB probably approached him, and in that approaching of Ben Affleck, James Gunn probably was like, "Hey, maybe you should come and do something for us." And he's like, "No." I think that was as far as it went. I do think James Gunn is trying to make it seem
And maybe
like
they haven't found anything. Maybe they did talk, but they haven't found anything. It's possible, right?
Here's what I think. I think maybe Ben Affleck might have also given some tips to James Gunn on how to approach the universe.
Yeah.
Like that's also very
It's a shame.
possible.
Yeah.
Toker says so. Ben saying no is because they didn't find the right project. Simple as that. Yeah, I get that. But
Exactly.
also, like I said, James Gunn did imply that they were at least talking about him directing the Batman movie, right? And it's very clear from the way Ben Affleck talks in his statement that it was never on the table. Like he was never going to direct a superhero anything.
You know what it's like? If you're in sports or wherever agent, and if say you're a free agent in sports, and you're probably gonna leave, but you still talk to your team. You just talk to get out some feelers, what there is. But even though you plan not to be signed with your team, to see what they have to say, but you plan not to go back to your team anyway. That's what it is. That's what you do in show business. You just hear them out.
Yeah, it's not show friends, show business. Anyway,
Yeah.
Finbar says Rebel Moon is going to have Darkseid and also be absorbed back into the Star Wars universe. It's all connected.
Oh boy.
It's gonna have
And because like Disney owns Star Wars, it's eventually going to connect to the MCU.
Yeah, well, didn't you? If you ever watch, I think it's not Community. Is it? Maybe it's Community. Where Patton Oswalt makes that big speech, how he's going to have the X-Men show up in the Star Wars universe.
technically they can.
Oh,
They're
boy.
owned by the same company, but
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Like they're going to have the Shi'ar ship show up, and the X-Men are on it, and they're fighting Star Wars.
I'll tell you, I saw Shazam. I'm not going to spoil anything here, but they do take some clips. They do take some shots at the Marvel. I'll just say that.
Real quick, you saw Shazam. Does Superman show up?
No,
Yeah,
tell me.
Superman shows up. Oh, Superman's in Shazam, guys. Confirmed by Aaron.
he's not.
Henry
He's
Cavill?
mentioned, but he's not in it.
So
It's not-
right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's not. I can tell you 100% he's not in it. But y'all been spoiled about who's in it anyway. If you haven't, I'm still not going to mention it here, but I think he knows all in it anyway.
Wayne T. Carr.
Some of these like tweets that were just like scrolling through, it's like these are unhealthy obsessions.
Yeah, calling him God and
Like at least they do realize that Zod is a villain, right? Like
That still
At least
works.
I-
That still works.
And he likes. Apparently, he likes Eddie Machini's version better.
oh my God!
oh
Restore the
man.
Snyderverse. It's happening.
And
For Darkseid's like they do realize that if Darkseid actually existed, like
We'd be all
Darkseid would
dead.
like kill them without a problem. Like
Like this, God joined. Come on.
did they like
in
a minute they embrace
hey,
being
hey
a bad
guys,
guy.
that's the first commandment is not to have thou should not have another idol like false gods.
Yeah.
So Zach, hey, they're all going to hell.
Oh my goodness.
You
that
can all
was-
see beneficial. You're all going to see
know what?
beneficial, Tony.
Hey,
that
you cannot.
poster they made, it looks like a Marvel poster.
Yeah.
With all the characters on it.
Is he supposed to be Professor X with like all this coming? Around?
Yes.
he could like.
And like don't a lot of these
Zack
guys
Snyder,
hate Marvel.
the
Marvel,
the Z man,
Yeah, they do hate Marvel.
the Z man,
Yeah, that looks
Dead man.
almost similar to the Infinity War poster.
Oh,
And
Or the
Rise
Ragnarok
of
poster.
Or the Rise of Skywalker poster.
the
Wow.
Z man or Z man.
I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything. Everything. Man of Steel 2, Justice League 3, Justice League 2, David Ayer's Suicide Squad, and Ben Affleck's Batman. We're getting all.
Ben Affleck's done with comic book projects.
Yeah, he's done with comic book. He's done with comic books in general. But yeah, that's what he said in the article.
All right,
so
Aaron, jiggle your mic cord because you're getting a little robot-y.
You too, George.
You too, George. But Ben Affleck is only done.
The mic was fine earlier. Is it better now?
It's fine now. Yeah, it's fine now. Ben Affleck is only done when Zack Snyder tells him he's done. Zack Snyder said, "Hey, tell them you're not directing for James Gunn, so that way when I bring you out on April 28th and announce Ben Affleck's Batman project going forward, Justice League 2."
Hey, look at this guy's name, James Bong.
Oh,
James Bong. It's gonna restore the Snyderverse, baby.
Part of his plan.
Look at them. They're all like orgasming over this stuff.
Return of the King.
This is unhealthy.
It is. Lobo.
It really is.
Oh, Lobo. Lobo excited.
Oh, see, Ben Affleck's back. He's back.
Yeah, but they didn't read the article, did they? These people, right?
I don't know. It's coming back. It's going full circle.
I mean, CGH. I just saw CGH in there.
Did you? Yeah, there he is. CGH. It's Rebel Moon, folks. Calm down.
Oh man, what's he? CGH is the voice of reason.
There you go. We're gonna like CGH. I don't know. Well, again, he knows what he's doing. Like, he knows that these people are gonna fucking go nuts over this. He does it anyway.
He does. He loves the attention. Like I tell you, Zack Snyder.
Did David Ayer,
man. I mean, all directors do.
Yeah, didn't David Ayer just come out and say that they're like, stop fucking around with the damn haircut? He doesn't care anymore.
And he retweeted James Gunn like maybe an hour or two ago about the wife, how somebody accused of James Gunn casting his wife and everything. Yeah. That was like, did you see those tweets? Yeah, he backs James Gunn. Like David Ayer.
Well, look at save the date. There's 2 spaces, then 1 space. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
What the hell?
2 spaces. From the video was save the date. There was 2 spaces, but then there was only 1 space here.
What is that?
2 + 1 = 3. Half-Life 3.
Grass, does he want a medal for that? He can add.
Half-Life 3. It's coming. It's confirmed.
Look at Cavill. Cavill first needs a contract with Warner Brothers to come back for this. You can't just Zack Snyder can't just hire them. You need a contract with Warner Brothers.
He can hire whoever he wants. He's Zack Snyder. He owns it all.
He owns the IP without he owns all the IP from the DC stuff without not knowing that he could legally get sued by Warner Brothers.
Can he? I don't know. He's Zack Snyder. He does whatever he wants. He's a rebel. He don't play by your rules. He steals hard drives. He makes movies. He films scenes that no one told him to film.
That's why he went to Netflix.
Okay. He was a rebel against Warner Brothers.
Hey, a lot of directors, when they start on Netflix, they get bigger movies in the theaters, right? They go on to have their movies. They get hired by other companies to have their movies into the theaters, like Sean Levy and other directors. Zack Snyder, on the other hand, went the opposite direction.
Yeah. Remember this? Remember this, guys? This is it. They let Zack Snyder be in Teen Titans Go. He's coming back. They're restoring it. Snyderverse restored.
They were using Teen Titans Teen Titans Go as a way to try to get this thing going again.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He's obviously, he knows what he's doing. He's a troll. He's going to get everybody hyped. He's going to get people talking, and they're going to show up, and they're going to all be disappointed. You know who's going to be the biggest, the most disappointed about all of this? when it all said and done, when the smoke clears, Netflix. Netflix is going to be super pissed when they find out that none of the people that are supporting Zack Snyder's Justice League movement and all this shit ordered Netflix in order to watch Rebel Moon or go to the theater to see it when it has a limited release.
They said if Netflix is smart, they should not put it on Netflix. They should put it in the movie theaters, but not a limited release, and try to make money off it. If it bombs at the box office. But I think Netflix that's going to direction for all their movies, really. Most of their movies.
And you're going out again, Georgia. Or Aaron.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't know what the hell you.
I was saying. Oh, can you hear me better now?
No, you're like. Sounds like you're. Paper.
Like, how about now?
No, he's still.
No.
No, you can still hear it. It's like.
It sounds worse.
Yeah. Whatever you do the opposite of what you're doing now.
Oh, it's fixing the mic.
It's like I am from the Speed Force.
Let me.
Like you were good, and then you went bad, and then you went good. I don't know what you're doing. George did the same thing. Like he was bad, then he was good. Live from Atlantis. That's what's happening.
Lowest line. He's the key.
Pick the USB cable and stick it back in.
How about now? Yeah.
Now you're fine.
Okay, right.
I'm sure
I was saying
he looks like he'll electrocute himself.
I was saying Netflix should put their movies in the theaters to make something, because they're struggling with money. I mean, if they canceled a movie that's 130, 150 million budget, I mean, that's not a good sign, really.
What movie did they cancel?
Like, the one I mentioned like 5 minutes ago, the one with ScarJo and Michael Fassbender and Owen Wilson, the comedy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That the Warner Bros. Might be buying. That one. I don't know what it's called, but I don't think it had a name yet. But it was supposed to be a Netflix, but they shelved it and they're looking to sell it. And Warner Bros. Might be interested in it. So I'm saying Netflix, if they're smart with their movies, put it in the box office for a non-limited release.
We got another simp on our hands, gentlemen.
Well, I don't know if there should. I think there still should be a limited release. Well, the major thing that they need to do is market their stuff. Market your movies. They
don't market at all.
Nothing.
Right, so
They rely too much. They don't even market their shows.
well,
Nope.
yeah, because
They were
marketing budget costs money.
They rely too
speaking of
much
marketing-
on word of mouth.
Speaking of marketing, someone said stop putting your wife in every DC project. James Gunn says the only DC movie I ever cast my wife in was The Suicide Squad. I had nothing to do with the casting of any other movie. Anything else was shot a year or so ago while I was deep in Volume 3. But I know some of you are deeply in need of reasons to hate. And then this big simp, Matthew Jarbo, comes out. James, I'm really sorry these guys can't stop pissing in your Cheerios. Your true fans are behind you with this one. Hashtag run with gun.
I thought Jarbo thought that was a cringe hashtag.
It is. All these simps on social media.
Actually, before the stream, I was watching some of Jarbo's fan film again.
Did you see that we missed the ending of that? The post credits.
I didn't get to that part yet.
Yes.
Post credit scene.
Yes.
I will say this: I don't understand this, and maybe it's me. Maybe it's the disconnect. I'm old, but I see people when they talk to celebrities on social media and they speak in a way like they're friends.
Yes.
Like James Gunn's not your friend. It's not like, sorry, buddy. People are mean to you. Like, yeah, I know, Jarbo. Let's go get beer. No, it's like he's just some dude. He probably doesn't even read half of the tweets. Probably like 90% of the tweets he doesn't even fucking read.
Of all the tweets that I've sent to him, he's only replied to one of them.
He probably doesn't have
has somebody.
notifications on.
Yeah, he probably has somebody that looks through and go, hey, James, this is a pretty good one. You want to reply to that one?
Yeah, it's his wife. Look, his wife does it for him. No, I'm kidding.
No, there probably is. Like, when you get to that level, there's probably somebody there. Like, your assistant collates all your tweets and like, all right, here's like the top 10 replies to you, right? Like, do you want to reply? All right.
What if his assistant replied the whole time? Instead of James Gunn.
It probably is most of the time. I'll go into something real quick. Let me read this. Yes, I am good, sir. I'll sim for Jen Law any day. I wish her eyes draw me there. What can I do? But no, there was a thing, and so everyone knows what OnlyFans is, right?
Yes.
Okay. So some OnlyFans models have a thing where you could DM them, right? They'll reply to your DMs, and things might get a little spicy. You know, you and this OnlyFans model, you pay your money, your $20, $50, $100, whatever it is, and you and the OnlyFans model are exchanging spicy messages back and forth, right? Well, it came out not too long ago. I want to say like about 6 months ago, maybe a year. Some OnlyFans model, they asked her, they said, well, you have, like 10,000 subscribers, right? How the hell could you possibly, even if 10% of 1,000 of those people are all hitting you up on DM, right? How could you possibly reply to all of that? Have these conversations? And she said, basically, I don't. I have an assistant that does that. So when you think that you're DMing this OnlyFans model and you're talking dirty to her, it's just some assistant. It's probably some dude in his underwear. Some dude eating pizza, just like, yeah, baby, you're hot. This is fucking great dick pic. You're sending dick pics to some fat dude that's the assistant to the OnlyFans model.
Yeah, this is why I stick to corn.
Yeah, stick to corn.
So save your money, fellas. Right? What can I say? At least with a real life lady of the night, it's her, right? She's not like, hey, go in this room and my assistant will get it. That's essentially what it is, right? You're going in there and the assistant has given you the happy ending.
Yeah.
And even if you can't get that, you could go to strip clubs. You can watch stuff on the internet for free. Why are you paying for OnlyFans, bruh?
Well, part of what they're paying for, right, is the parasocial relationship because they think that they're talking to her directly. I'm directly talking. Like, you can't watch Korn and be like, hey, Korn model, maybe turn around. I like it this way, right? But you could do that at OnlyFans. Right? You could direct. You could script write. You could do all that. You talk to them. They're like, hey, DL, how's your day? Hey, honey, how you doing today, DL? It's your birthday coming up, right? And you're thinking, oh, man, she remembers all this stuff. She's awesome. She's fucking my friend. She's into me. And it's fake. It's all the assistant.
I know it's
dude
fake.
That has notes on you. Like, oh, DL, he gives a lot of money, so remember these things and treat him nice. Man.
Yeah, I cannot do that myself. I already know going into it all that you just described. I know it's fake. They're doing that for money. There's no genuineness about that. So no, I'm not doing that.
If you want to flirt, if you want to flirt with a woman, just do cam models.
Make sure that you can see them.
Yeah, make sure that's true.
Make sure they're on the screen. But even then, don't pay to flirt with anybody. Gentlemen, go outside. Touch some grass.
Yeah.
Lower your expectations.
Yeah. Go to Vegas. Go to Vegas if you want that attention. Go to Vegas.
But what I'm saying is, like if you're not a 10, and gentlemen, I love you. I love all the gentlemen out there. You're all fantastic. You're all 10s in my heart. But if you're really not a 10, maybe lower your expectation as to what it is that you're going to get, right? If you're a 6, don't expect a 10, right? You might get one, but don't expect it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, right? I'm a 6 on a good day.
Yeah,
I'm 100.
Keep your shots realistic. It's the equivalent of like having no high school education and you want to go to an office job and they laugh you out of the building, right? They're like, what the hell are you applying? Maybe for the janitor position, but you're not getting on the board of directors with that application. So sorry.
Have reasonable expectations for sure.
And let me just say that as somebody that if you're not that good looking and you do land a good looking chick, it's going to be so much headache for you. You think it's going to be all roses. You're like,
you're
this is gonna-
probably rich if that's the case.
But I'm saying no. Even if you're rich, because you're thinking in your head, you go, "It's going to be great, right? She's hot.
Yeah.
I'm with this hot chick." But what you don't realize is you got all these other hotter dudes that are not going to be on there, and you're going to be worried about that because you know you're not really that hot. She's out of your league, so you're already on your back foot. Secondly, there's going to be all kind of people telling you like, "What the hell?" They were like, "DL, you know, she's out of your league. Obviously, she, you know, when you're not around, she's fucking some other dude because she's not in your league. She just wants your money, right? So you're gonna have to deal with that. So just save yourself the headache. Let's just be realistic.
Yeah, I'm good with the 6 or a 7. I'm good with that 100%.
Find somebody who you connect with.
I would say this. I say most of the 10s are probably very boring.
Yeah, they want you to be the entertaining one. You to hold the conversation.
Yeah.
Tony talking like he's a 10. I'm just saying. No, but here's the thing. It's not that they want you to hold the conversation. It's they never had to, right? And I was just I was talking about this.
It was easy for them. It's easy.
Right.
Here's a fact. Being attractive is easy, right? It gets you. It's an easier lifestyle. Really.
Yeah, it is. It really is. My life is so easy.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like I talked about this the other day when I was talking about female comedians and how like the uglier the comedian is,
the funnier they are.
Funnier they are, right? Because they've had to in order to make it.
There's not a lot of hot. Funny. There's not a lot of hot female comedians, to be honest with you.
Because they're not funny. Because they've never had to. Like, if you're attractive, you can tell the stupidest joke and people laugh at it because you're attractive and they want you to like them, right? You don't tell attractive people they're dumb or they're stupid or they made bad jokes. You suck up to them because you're trying to get into their pants. That's what I'm saying.
The stereotypical thing is the hot woman's usually the dumb one, the bimbo, right? Right? That's how it usually is, right? And they don't have to try hard to get what they want.
Finbar says, yeah, but if you're rich, you just pay to have those other dudes who act.
Oh, my goodness.
I've seen the R. Kelly video where he goes after Mr. Big's woman, right?
R. Kelly?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You don't remember the Mr. Big R. Kelly feud?
Yeah, I just R. Kelly little ham.
He still made good music, right? Let's be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll separate the art from the guy, but yeah.
It's not like and let's be realistic about things, right? Like me listening to an R. Kelly CD right now, like if I pop in an R. Kelly CD and I start playing it, like some girl doesn't get pissed on because I did that, right? He's gone already. Like my contributions to him pissing on people is over with at this point. The man's locked up. It's over with. He's not getting anything. The record label might get some money if I buy an R. Kelly CD right now, but he ain't getting shit.
No.
Nobody's getting victimized at this point is what I'm saying. The man has been caught and he's away.
Anyway, dating is hard.
Just remember, kids, it's only sexual harassment if you're ugly.
Oh, ain't that a fact?
Yeah.
It is and it isn't, right? A lot of it is in your delivery. You know, I know this has turned into like the single man hour, except for Aaron, who gets all kind of pussy. When you say a thing to a woman, and it doesn't land, and she doesn't laugh or she doesn't go with it, or she's slightly offended by the thing you say, the worst thing you can do is to then react negatively to her, right? So if you're like, hey, what's up, baby? And she's like, don't baby me. You'd be like, I'm just playing, right? That's how you react. Don't be like, oh, fuck you, bitch, stuck up, bitch.
Because they know the guy's a jerk.
Now you are into sexual because now she's going to be like, this guy sexually harassed me, right? But if you play it off, just roll with the punches, just be okay.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do.
Or just, you know what? The best thing you could do, just move away, just walk off. It's not going to work.
Just be like George. Just
silent.
That you
walk away.
You say, I'm sorry. I work with kids all day, and that's how they talk. I'm down with children.
Down with the children.
You know what? If you know, it's a good way to get women, but it might be a slimy way kind of get women. Pretend you have an engagement ring.
Yeah, don't do that. That's
It
never
does.
gonna work. What you
So
could
you-
try is what Aaron does. You go to the club, you bump into her, and you accidentally drop your Magnum condom. You're like, "Oh, there's my Magnum condom for my massive dong." I'm sorry.
Oh no!
Drop that.
No.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's how I pick up women.
Look, guys out there, don't lie about your size, okay? Don't.
Yeah, never lie about their size. That's
Well,
the
that's
worst.
why Aaron's not lying.
Oh god.
I mean,
They don't call him a tripod for nothing. It's all. I'm saying.
Oh my lord.
Oh man.
George is like, I'm definitely not letting my boss see this one.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
hello, ladies. Velvetus, man.
Yeah, we've obviously wandered way far from the movie topic.
Certainly did.
I mean, he found it funny when I told him about the time. Like, Caden made a joke about me having an OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Here's my order.
Aaron Wang order. Yeah, that is. Mr. Toker says it's a statistical fact that 1 out of every 10 women you speak to will have sex with you. Meaning, don't worry about the 9 that say no. Move on so you can quickly find the
10%.
1 that says yes.
So
10% is
out
good
of
odds.
10.
10% is good.
Yeah, it is.
It's like,
Well, I mean, they say this is. I don't want to say verifiable fact, but this is common wisdom. Is that within the first 30 seconds, she knows if she's gonna sleep with you or not.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So, well, why you sound so disappointed? Like, yeah.
Well, you my luck's not great. Let's just say that.
Maybe set your expectations a little.
But dude, my expectations, like, it feels like it's low. It's like up below the ground at this point, below the ground. To
No,
the
there's
Earth's
others.
core.
There's somebody. There's always somebody for somebody out there.
Yes, I've heard all the terms before. Plenty of fish in the sea.
This
Buddy,
is
buddy, buddy.
a whorehouse toker.
I mean, there are more women than men in the world, so. No, Blind Braille, we cannot go to the gym now because otherwise, if you do, you're gonna get videotaped and caught.
Oh my
being
Go
caught
to
up
the-
for-
goodness. Yo, I find that to be very cringe. Like picking up people at like the gym.
No,
Why is that
I will
cringe?
not.
I don't know.
I think the problem here is I'm sensing a lot of self-consciousness here on the panel. You're worried about what other people think, what's cringe. If there's a hot chick at the gym and you got your eye on her, you fancy her, take your move, take your shot, shoot your shot, right? And if anything, just go to another gym next time, right?
Here's the fact: people that sweat from working out, it does get people's attention. It is an actual chemical.
It's an aphrodisiac. Your
Yeah.
pheromones come out.
Yeah. So-
Problem is, if you're desperate, you do have a stink of desperation on you. So there's that.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it gets a bit nicer, maybe in the summertime, we'll have Aaron get a camera and go around. We'll follow him on his adventures to pick up chicks. And make a whole series.
I mean,
of it.
Canada, some hot chicks, man.
Yeah, there are.
Pamela Anderson. No.
I think I'm gonna head over to Ireland. I got a thing for redheads with freckles.
But a good thing you're not heading to England because they don't have good teeth. Oh.
I don't care about
Ooh.
Come on now, they just knock them all out, replace them. That'd be fun.
I'm sorry, my British friends. I didn't mean it.
You know I love my black queens.
Blinded Braille says, "Get a cool hobby." There you go. Become a filmmaker.
Yeah. Become a filmmaker would definitely.
Here's what you do: get a video camera and bring it with you everywhere. And then when you see a hot chick, be like, "Hey, we're filming an episode of Girls Gone Wild. Would you like to participate?"
Oh my god.
All I can say is this: at least like
like no one on this panel is like this one person in the Snyder fan that's like, screw Valentine's Day. I haven't had a date in years. You know what? I'm gonna put the hashtag sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix because who cares about romance?
Okay.
Look. All I'm saying is, if you go to La Quinta Inn, and if you know, it'll be all good. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
How about John Campia? John Campia dressed up as Shazam or Skywalker Jedi dressed up as black suit Superman?
Yeah, don't do that. But John Campia is already married. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
It's a 50-year-old guy dressing up as Shazam.
But he's married. Who cares? See again. This is what I'm talking about. When I said the self-consciousness, right? John Campia is comfortable enough in his own skin to make an ass of himself. Right?
Yes, he does.
We all say, hey, he's a fucking ass, right? But
what's funny?
He does it. He makes way more money than us.
You know what's funny? Not John Campia related, but Grace Randolph related. I mean, I think a bunch of us retweeted the Twitter account that has Jessica Chastain is gonna play Grace Randolph in the movie.
Yeah. I agree with Sinise here. He says, "I love the redhead ladies. I love the spicy spark from the personality.
Yeah,
enjoyable.
They do have.
They have a spark. Redheads, like they're very.
Yeah, see, Blinded knows. That's how he picks up his chicks. Tell her you're a filmmaker, and then you'll be making a movie in her bedroom. Yeah,
sounds like Harvey Weinstein.
Here's what you do. Here's a surefire way. You just walk up to a really hot chick and you say, 2 eggs over easy, hash browns, and a side of bacon. And then when she says, what the hell are you talking about? You say, I was just letting you know what I would like to eat in the morning when we're having breakfast together.
Yeah.
That's kind of smooth.
Now remember, it's all in the execution. If you're stuttering, stammering, looking away, and not confidently state, it's not going to work. It's going to come off creepy. You're like, so what we're going to eat in the morning after? Yeah.
This is like,
whoa, dude.
This is a Snyder cutlass trying to get a woman in a bar. You, me, Zack Snyder's Justice League all night.
Yeah.
Oh my.
We're gonna pull a Snyder cut tonight.
Snyder cut and chill, baby. You down?
Oh. It reminds me of a story that Matt Jarble like told about like Zod Rider. like apparently like this date Zod Rider went on. Apparently, like this girl wanted to watch the Batman, and apparently he talked her into watching Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
Oh, so what?
Finbar says, so just reply, sorry, I don't think jail lets you choose from a menu. Creep. I don't. That one for 90% of the dude. Damn. Blinded putting down all of my homies. No. It'll work. Remember, set your expectations. Set your expectations. And also, if she's attracted to you, that's all that matters, right? It don't matter what other people think. If you think she's hot, then she's hot, and you go for it. But also try to make sure she doesn't have a boyfriend or a husband, because that can get all kind of messy. And I don't think you guys are ready. That's advanced.
Make sure she does have a ring.
Yeah, no, I'm not messing with no married women.
Because if you hit on a married woman, that means you're a scum, like you're a jerk.
Look, why you gotta be calling me names, Aaron?
I didn't know you hit a married woman, Tony.
I frequently say this all the time. Married women are the best because it's a lot less messy. You don't got to worry about them calling you all the time. They're not going to show up unexpectedly at your work or you want to be introduced to your friends or family. You both know what it is that you're going for when you get involved into this situation.
So what you're saying when you're married, it's less pressure. You don't spend as much. What was the word?
I have no idea. You trailed off there.
I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is, if you go to a restaurant and you're like, I want a steak, right? And you go to a restaurant and you say, let me get a steak, and they're like, sorry, we're out of steak. You're disappointed, right? But if you have a pizza in your car, and then you go to order the steak, and they're like, we don't got steak, you're like, that's cool because I still got pizza in my car. That's how it is if you're married.
What the what?
Hey, Mr. Tokers.
Just tell her
Oh.
I'm gonna fuck you to the sweetest sounds of Junkies XL Justice League score. Yeah.
Especially Wonder Woman's Amazonian catcall theme in that movie. Yeah.
Yo, it's like she
So if you're
just like comes into the Batcave, they play the music like.
so if you have
Just have
if you have sex during that song, Wonder Woman's music, are you having sex with the girl or Wonder Woman?
Whoa.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
It's a
yes,
legitimate
just
question,
yes.
isn't it?
Nah,
The answer is yes.
What are you thinking about? Yeah. What are you really thinking about?
it's better if you go for a simple compliment. Also, you should learn to pull and push in the conversation. Well, here's the thing: you should always, gentlemen, huge advice here. But when you're with a lady, you should always be thinking about the lady you're with. If your mind is somewhere else, they will sense that. They will know that, and you will not give them the happiest of endings that you should be. Okay, I'm trying to keep this YouTube friendly.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes,
That's true. That's true.
like I said, and my rule of thumb is always let the ladies have a 2-to-1 ratio on happy endings. Okay.
Hey, the ladies control the relationship. The ladies control the relationship because they have the one thing men want.
Yeah, that's not what I was talking about, Aaron. But that's a good point. We'll get back to that. What I was saying
Actually, I think men control that because like they're the ones that have to propose.
yeah, okay. But what I'm saying is, again, when it's time to give the happiest of endings to the night when you're gonna have your nightcap, make sure she gets 2 cups of coffee for every 1 cup you get. Is what I'm saying. Hopefully, we can all follow the analogy when we understand what I'm saying. You could read in between the lines. But gentlemen, if you do that, your lady friend will be very happy with you.
Very well said.
All right. I think this is where we'll end it because, man, have we ventured off into a weird direction that I was not prepared to go.
How did we get to this, though?
Probably because you were telling us about all the trim you get, and we were just so in awe of your pussy magnet.
Yeah, the ladies just come wanting to me, man.
Well, I'm saying, like, apparently your pants say north and south because you are a pussy magnet. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Aaron is a real alpha. He's the real alpha.
And if you know, you know. All right.
No,
gentlemen.
I'm beyond the alpha. I'm beyond the alpha. I'm the omega.
Oh, the omega's last. You don't want that's you went all the way.
Oh
around.
no,
You went around the horn to
sorry.
the bad part.
What was I thinking from? DC Universe Online. Sigma. There we go. Yeah, Sigma. I'm just Sigma. Didn't you?
So what Breen movie tomorrow? Tomorrow we are watching a Neil Breen movie. Hammock Man did say what it was, but I forget. If I could bring it up, I think he wrote it in the movie thing. Which RJ floods every day with tweets. Love you, RJ.
What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him with tweets? What's wrong with him sharing stuff?
Some of it's just like I don't give a shit about this. Because also it's like here's a Last of Us review, and then here's another different website Last of Us review tweet, and here's another. I'm like, we've gone too far. Yeah, I don't remember. I can't find it. But he did say what movie we're watching. Ask Hammock Man. He knows. Sigma Male Aaron World Order edits. Yeah. I think that's what it was. Fateful Findings. I believe that's the movie they said.
Fateful Findings. Let me see that.
Apparently, I don't want to know nothing about it. I know nothing about Neil Breen other than apparently he is bad. So bad it's good. And we're going to be watching that tomorrow on Bad Movies, Good Friends, where we'll be roasting it. We'll be watching it, riffing, and of course, picking up all the ladies.
I wanted to let you all know the Mario movie is only an hour and a half.
It's only an hour and a half?
Yeah. Fateful Findings.
Most animated movies are usually around that length time.
Right.
Because I checked when I went to get Shazam, I checked Mario, and I'm like, yeah, it's an hour and a half.
Oh, it was me, not Hammock. That's probably why I couldn't find it. The Blind is the one who picked the movie. He said yes, faithful findings.
Look what you did, man. The Blind is mad now.
Well, I forgot because Blind had quit on us to go to.
I made Blind, and now I convinced Blind to go see Shazam now.
Oh, why would you do that?
Because it's actually it's pretty decent. It's actually pretty fun.
All right. So again, we will be taking off. We'll be back tomorrow to watch Faithful Findings. Riff on it. Saturday, of course, we're doing the Gabbing with Geeks, and maybe we'll do a special love edition and give you some more love advice. But where can we find you, George?
You can find me at the George, and I plan on also doing a stream myself on Saturday, talking about the James Gunn Superman thing, and also about like Ben Affleck not directing something, and maybe I'll do some Marvel. And also, I'm checking out Shazam this weekend, so I'll be doing a review on that this weekend as well.
And what time are you doing this Saturday stream?
I haven't decided. The earliest could be 7. I have to see.
All right, so there you go. If you want a alternative stream, you can check out the George.
Oh, you're watching it, Blind, bro. I'm gonna make you watch it.
Why can I never find any of your? There it is, the George. I'm gonna put his link in the chat. Go sub to the George. He's amazing. He's amazing. He works with kids. He helps them learn. He educates them. Teaches them all about the Snyderverse. It's fucking awesome. And next up is my man DL. DL, where can we find you? What's going on? What are you up to?
Y'all can find me on my channel. I am DL. It's exactly how it's spelled on my subtitle right there. I am DL, where I talk about movies and shows and everything nerd and geek culture. So I'm going to see Shazam today because it's 12 o'clock where I'm at. But I'm going to see Shazam, and then I'm going to do a spoiler stream on it, most likely on Monday. So that's what's coming up next. And we started to talk about the Transformers films leading up to Rise of the Beast. We talked about the original animated movie and the first Michael Bay Transformers film. If you guys want to check out those reviews for those, check out that. And then I'm going to talk about John Wick when that comes out. And we talked about all the Rocky and Creed movies. There's going to be some Star Wars stuff coming soon, Wizarding World stuff. So got a whole bunch of stuff planned on my channel, so check it out.
Awesome. You know what? When I first saw your name pop up on Max's stream, I thought it was Doll. I'm like, it's a weird name.
There's a hyphen there for a reason.
That's not a hyphen. That's not a hyphen, sir.
Oh, what is that?
Oh, that's a hyphen in your one name, but on the other one, it's like a underscore.
Oh, yeah, that's my Twitter thing.
And your Twitter thing. That's why I was like, I am Doll. I'm like, what?
What?
And of course, I put Aaron World Orders main channel link in the chat. Aaron, what you gonna be up to? What are you gonna be doing?
So tomorrow, I did put up a Shazam for the Gods non-spoiler review today. It's today because I did see it today. Tomorrow, I'm going to put chapter 19 of season 3 of Mandalorian, non-spoiler. Well, actually, that's today. Actually, well, it's 12 where I am, so technically it'll be today. So Shazam non-spoiler review is actually yesterday.
Can I ask you one thing about Shazam? You saw it, right? You saw Shazam. A friend of the channel, a good friend, Justin Proper, he put out a tweet. He said that Shazam is a superhero movie. Is this true? Can you confirm or deny that?
It is a superhero movie.
It is. There you go. Sorry if I spoiled it for anybody, but Justin's tweet was correct.
No, everybody, it's really a Western.
It is one of the superhero movies of all time.
Yeah, it is.
And Saturday I do my Let's Pop Talk show. Let's Pop show.
You mean Let's Talk Pop?
Yeah, so it's episode 6, and on Saturday's show we're gonna be doing 2 spoiler reviews of Mandalorian chapter 19, which is episode 3 of season 3, and Shazam for the Gods. So it's basically 2 spoiler reviews. It'll probably be a long stream, and I'm doing that relatively early, 4 Eastern. So I'll probably go 2 or 3 hours, and you're all allowed to come on if you're free. And yeah, and there'll be other movie.
We can come on your show.
Yeah, If you
I
want
usually charge people for coming on things, but
but also
for you,
but
I'll
also,
do it for free.
Also on those shows, I do talk about other entertainment news. That's in that's been coming out since basically today, from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So, yeah. But yeah,
When I first heard your show, I was like, they're like, Aaron's doing a show called Let's Talk Pop. I was like, oh, he's gonna talk sodas. He's gonna talk like Coca-Cola and Mountain
You want me
Dew
to?
and stuff.
and oh yeah, and Monday, if you're into wrestling, I'm doing my wrestling show Monday, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about wrestling now since WrestleMania is really heating up. AEW, we got some New Japan news with AEW, and a lot of other stuff.
Did you buy the new WWE game?
Yes, I did.
Have you been playing it? Have you been enjoying
Yes,
it?
it's really, really good.
I streamed it the other day. I was like,
Yeah.
where's Aaron? Aaron's not here. Aaron told me.
I was beefing
Who
with
you
The Rock.
swooshing? Who are you swooshing?
I was beefing with The Rock in the game. My creative player was beefing with The Rock on social media.
I am of two minds on the game because I do love wrestling. I love it to bits, and I do understand the story they're trying to tell, right? But at the same time, I'm like, I hate being shoehorned. Like this is a game where you get to be a wrestling superstar, but you're going to start off as a good guy because you're fighting Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah, you picked that role, yeah.
Well, that's it. It's just either be the man or the chick, right? It's either the chick.
Oh yeah,
role.
that's true. Last year's you started from all the way from NXT, and you could.
No, you started before that. You started in the Performance Center.
Yeah.
And then you got to pick depending on how you performed. They go. You want to
Yeah.
go to Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. And,
I mean, I'm a little disappointed with GM mode's improved, but I'm sorry, I cannot do a wrestling show with with a budget this low. I don't like that. I don't want have you tried GM mode yet?
yeah, well, because they're trying to make it so that you don't have.
Yeah, but it's not realistic.
Superstars. It is not unrealistic, but
You can't. How are you supposed to make a show right at the beginning where you have like $200,000-$300,000 left to spend, and you have like a $500?
What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get 2 top stars, 2 middle stars, and then 2 lower card stars.
You're right. You're right, but I don't want that for a wrestling show. I
understand it's not what you want, but if you want to play a game, seriously, if you want a GM mode, do you actually play do you simulate the GM mode, or do you actually play the matches?
I play some of them. The ones I want to that I focus on for storyline purposes,
So if you want a GM mode where there's no playing, like you don't actually play anything.
Yeah, you speculate.
No, there's no spectators. It's not even any of that, right? It's just numbers. It's like all numbers and words.
Yeah.
Right? If that's what you want, play Total Extreme Wrestling. Okay, Total Extreme Wrestling. It has mods. It has original characters for like the base game, but you can get mods, and you could do everything. You can be like WCW in 1996. Book all the matches you want in whatever order you want. Whoever, pick the storylines, and it gives you different ratings for how you did. And then things improve. Things you have certain events. It's all the best parts of the storyline of the GM mode, but without any of the actual playing a wrestling game. That's the best way I could describe it.
You suggested to me a couple months ago I should do commentating. I should watch the matches, do commentating.
You should.
I should. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing that from a GM mode.
Well, I was thinking of doing the universe mode, right? Because you can.
Universe mode is awesome with the cut scenes now.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it's basically GM mode, but do
Yeah.
universe mode. Pick a brand, set up the matches I want, and then just turn off the commentating, because you know how you could set the volume for the commentators. So set that all the way low, keep the background noise and all the the sound effects for like the hitting and the moves. Keep that on, and then just get on the mic and call the match as if I'm calling the match. And I could even we could make an Aaron wrestler. I could have Aaron fight George. You'd be like, oh my God, Aaron just hit George with a steel chair.
I turn my back on everybody in the DM group.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, out of the crowd, it's Mad Max.
Oh my God, we should do that.
Like a wrestler with a Dr. Doom mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that, Toy. Make
They'll be like,
characters
who,
of
we're doing a Royal Rumble. We'd be like, oh my god, who's the 30th thing? Did you just hear the music from that movie that Jarbo made? Oh shit, man, Jarbo's here. It would be awesome, and like 6 people would get the joke. Like, oh yeah, the 6 of us would find it absolutely fucking hilarious, and then everyone else would be like, this is stupid. I don't know any of these people, and why are you all excited for it? Which is most things that I come up with, because I come up with a lot of creative things, but then I'm like, yeah, 3 people are going to understand what it is, and then everyone else is just going to shit on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if there was, maybe I was thinking, in order to get a bigger audience, mix in some of you guys, but also like John Campias and your like Grace Randolphs and your bigger YouTubers. Myself, Bianca's here. She says 8 watching, but not 8 likes. You guys didn't. Maybe they don't like it. Maybe they just.
She comes at the end.
Maybe they dislike.
You came at the end, Bianca.
Yeah. Bianca came after all the misogynies was over with. She's like,
yes, he did.
Ranch on all of you? What?
Yeah, she's got ranch and that squirt gun. She's gonna shoot.
Oh gosh,
I love ranch. They actually have. They announced a ranch ice cream.
Oh God, no!
Oh my God, I want it. They said it's gonna be at Walmart.
Oh, disgusting!
It's a Hidden Valley. I'm so looking forward to buying it.
Why? What is wrong with humanity?
I figure I buy it and then maybe like do one of those like look at me eating stupid shit type thing.
Hey, you might get some views on that one.
And I also might get some good ice cream. So who knows?
Well,
here it is. The limited edition Van Levinson Hidden Valley Ranch.
Oh my God! They're gonna make ice cream out of anything now.
Yeah. No.
Tony, I want you to try that. I want you to try that live on stream or video.
I mean, if you guys look at my shorts, I have a short where I try. I think it's like 7-month-old Jello.
Oh,
because what happened was every year my mom makes a little Jello cup, a little like styrofoam cup with Jello. Because my grandma used to do it. It's like a tradition. We make the little Jello cups, and 1 cup of Jello somehow got shoved in the back of her refrigerator, right? And so I was like, "Oh, there's Jello here." I was like, I should eat that. And then I was like, wait a minute, when did we have Jello? And I was like, oh, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is when we had Jello. And then I was like, wait a minute, it's like 7 months ago. I'm like, oh shit. But that got like 2,000 views. It was only 20-day old Jello. So it wasn't that bad. But apparently Jello doesn't last that long, so people were like, hey, you probably shouldn't eat that.
Yeah. I remember when I was in college, like my senior party at college newspaper, someone brought in Jello shots for us. Snuck them in college.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
Now that was a party.
I can't wait till it gets hot. I love when it's warm outside because then I go more to places and I'm gonna get some fucking chili cheese fries. Hell yeah! Look at it.
Yeah,
Look
it's so nice. It was nice where I was today. Really warm.
All that food. Look at it. Burger, chili cheese fries, drink $5. Bam.
You and Brian should hang out.
Latino discount. All right. They have mac and cheese ice cream. Yeah.
Mac and cheese. Okay.
I mean, that definitely makes you go back to mac and cheese ice cream. That's dairy ready with cheese. That's recipe for a diarrhea.
Yeah.
I love it.
Constipation.
Yeah.
Come on, cheese is made out of milk. Ice cream
is made out of milk.
Yeah. That's like, okay, so people are probably going to think I'm weird. And as we started talking food, suddenly the amount of people watching have gone up. we're trying to end this, but people think I'm weird because I will eat a baked potato with ketchup.
It's not. I don't think it's
Not
weird.
the weirdest thing I've heard.
No.
Just dunking. And I eat the skin. I like the skin too. But some people are like, why would you do that? I'm like, well, fries are made of potato, and potatoes made out of potato.
Yeah. I don't think it's weird at all.
Yeah, it's fine.
What's the weirdest thing you eat, Aaron?
Weirdest thing I eat?
Don't say pussy.
Hey, pussy ain't weird. I eat a lot. I put ketchup on a lot of things. I put ketchup sometimes on my macaroni and cheese. I put sometimes ketchup on regular.
No, not necessarily ketchup, but just like what's the weirdest thing you've eaten? Like,
Oh, I don't know.
You have ever eaten, basically.
yeah, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
I don't know. I can't name.
I know one.
I'm very picky with what I eat. I'm very picky.
I got one. My
What?
10th grade teacher, he was a hunter, and he would make us like food from some of the animals he hunted. We had deer neck soup.
Ooh, that is. What about you, DL? What's the weirdest thing?
Let's see. There's this random, probably the weirdest one. Probably I tried this random combination on a pizza one day where I was like, let me try something different. It's probably not going to sound weird at all. This might actually sound pretty good, but I was curious because I saw that they had they offered meatballs on a pizza, so I was like, ooh, let me put some meatballs. Let me put some banana peppers on there, and let me put some spinach on there, and that shit hit, man.
It does sound weird, but it does sound delicious.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of pizza like that now where the toppings.
The weirdest thing I've ever eaten is also pizza, like DL, because I was a huge Ninja Turtle fan in the 80s. And as we know, one of the things that the Ninja Turtles would do is they would eat pizza, lots of pizza.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't eat normal pizza, right? They'd always eat weird pizza. They'd be like, oh, we're eating marshmallow and chocolate pizza. We're eating sardine and ketchup pizza. Like, there's always like a weird pizza that they would eat, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know what it was because maybe I was a stupid kid. I think that's probably what it is. So I had chocolate syrup and I had peanut butter. I was like, I also had leftover pizza. It was like a Little Caesar pizza. So I smeared peanut butter all over the bottom of the pizza. And then I poured that chocolate syrup on top. Sausage, had a lot of sauce on it, cheese. And that shit was good. Oh my God, it was fucking fire. Peanut butter, chocolate syrup, sausage pizza from Little Caesar. Make it a reality because it is so fucking good.
Wow, that's a combination right there.
It is, and it's delicious. Because I mean, chocolate syrup's good, peanut butter's good, pizza's
Chocolate syrup
delicious.
is good. Yeah,
it's like three good things. Of course, they're gonna taste great together.
You want to hear
pineapple don't belong on pizza.
Okay, wait a minute. Pause everything. Wait a minute. So you said all that crazy shit you put on the pizza, but you're still gonna draw the line at pineapple? What is going on with y'all? What is up with pineapple that everyone just goes crazy over when you just named all that ridiculous stuff you put
because
on
it's pizza? Tart. Because pineapple, it's like putting
putting chocolate,
but chocolate is sweet.
So
peanut butter is sweet. No, pineapple is also tart.
So
it's like you wouldn't put lemon juice on a pizza because
Nick, pineapple is like the most controversial topping of all time for pizza.
I don't put sticky fish on pizza, but people eat that anyway.
Fish smells. I like some fish, but fish I hate the smell of fish personally.
Confirm Tony's a dirtbag. Shane must have just caught up to the part where I said.
When I hear something weird, my cousin does not like mustard or ketchup, or even mayonnaise.
That is weird.
I love me some mustard, man.
I love mustard. Yeah.
I think you have to, yeah. I like mustard and ketchup, but like
I went on the like a keto type diet, and because you could have mustard, I just put mustard on everything. It's like fucking.
Mustard's good. And
I was eating like lamb and just like dunking it in mustard. Delicious. Anyway, I think we got to go. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
we are getting hungry.
Oh my god.
No pineapple works for pizza. You're wrong, Blinded. That's why I fired you.
Oh, what?
You need to try some ultimate Hawaiian pizza. It'll change your life.
Pineapple on pizza. I'm gonna put a poll tomorrow.
I thought pineapple pizza was a Canadian thing.
It's Hawaiian pizza.
I thought it also was also a Canadian thing. That's what I thought it was too.
You're Canadian, right, Aaron?
Yeah.
What do they call Canadian bacon up there? Is that just regular bacon?
Canadian bacon. Yes, regular bacon.
So then what do they call regular
like-
bacon? Like, is that American bacon?
I mean, maybe it's because it's made in America. The American bacon and Canadian.
No,
bacon
but I'm saying
different.
like we have Canadian bacon. That's a thing, right?
I don't
Because
know. Maybe
not
it's how
regular
it's
bacon.
made.
Right. But
Maybe it's
in
how it's
America, regular bacon in America is regular bacon, right? Canadian bacon is because it's different from regular bacon. So I imagine that Canadian bacon, which would be regular bacon for you, so then our regular bacon would be your like American bacon. Because you can't call our bacon Canadian bacon because it's not Canadian; it'd be American, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Or am I wrong? Or do they just call
No,
Canadian
blind
bacon
bill is
ham?
right. It's female bacon. Yeah.
Female? No, that don't sound good. Let's just call it Canadian bacon. Let's just stick with that.
Yeah, let's stick with that.
What do you like better? Which kind of bacon?
I like regular bacon because
your bacon is ham. Practically.
Well, because of the same animal, basically.
your bacon is Canadian bacon. Pretty much is just a big old slice of ham.
Well, it is the same animal, so it's pork.
No, Aaron is wrong. It's pea meal bacon. Pea meal just sounds wrong, because it's like bone meal is made out of bone, corn meal is made out of corn. Pea meal, I don't want to know what it's made out of.
Peas. Because it's spelled PEA.
Why you gotta ruin the joke?
Because
I'm looking it up. It actually does say pea meal bacon. Also known as cornmeal bacon, is a wet cured unsmoked back bacon made from trimmed lean boneless pork loin rolled in cornmeal. It is found mainly in Ontario.
Yeah.
So there you go. It actually is from Canada. It's all about the gabagool.
Oh my goodness.
We've gone to some weird places on this live stream of talking about movies. Somehow we've given you relationship advice and told you to eat pineapple on your pizza.
Yes.
Who knows? How did we get here? Who knows? All right, we're out of here. Love, peace, booty grease. We out this bitch.